All right, welcome, Stunthangar fans. It's Friday night again. Always my favorite of the week. It's April 26, 2019, and it's sweating weather down here in the South. And hope you're getting some sweating weather where you are too. Nice to get out and play and do some flying. And hope y'all had a great week and can come in and tell us about what you did for fun this week. And as usual, the links are posted in the usual places on the Stunthanger Control Line forums and the live streams / at the bench thread is where you'll find the link to join the show live if you've got a microphone and a camera. And of course, on the Stunthanger YouTube homepage, you can see the video streaming and the text chat box that you can type in and talk to us. And I try to incorporate your conversations there into our dialogue here on the live video. And if you have any problem getting into the live and can't quite get it, that's where you can go to ask a question and we'll kind of coach you in to get in here live. And the more the better. And so you guys on YouTube outnumber us in here by about 3 to 1 most nights. And so y'all got a great knowledge base out there. Hey, Jack Snavely says, hello, Rusty and other people. Well, the other people will hopefully be here soon, Jack. Welcome to the show. And so anyway, while I'm getting my opening remarks out of the way, I want to remind everybody to, with the ones that are in here on video chat with your camera, always remember to keep an eye on the film strip at the bottom of the video screen that shows all of the other guests and look out for anybody that's holding up something they want to show or somebody that looks like they're straining to get a word in edgewise because whoever makes the most noise gets the priority screen with the big screen. And you just be sure and give that common courtesy to your fellow visitors and let somebody else have a word if it looks like they've got something to say. Jamie Holford, are you in the hospital, man? I was on Facebook a little while ago and saw that you had to go to the emergency room. I hope everything's okay. I don't think that was old news, but sometimes I have trouble with Facebook. So yeah, let us know if you're okay. Yup. And Jamie confirms I was correct about that. Well, I hope they get you fixed up and not admitted, for Pete's sakes. I got enough friends that are in the dadgum hospital. Um, Will Davis is doing pretty good. I think they're going to kick him out for good pretty soon. I think he's got all of his tubes out, or at least most of them. He was joking about leaving one in to collect excess castor oil and that, so and any glow fuel overflow to make sure he doesn't fill up with that. But he says he's going to be at Huntersville coming up this time next weekend. I will be in Huntersville, so remember, I will not be hosting a show from here next Friday night. If somebody will start the show, I'll probably drop in as a guest, but more likely be sitting out at the swimming pool with everybody else that's in Huntersville. And out there, it turns into a beer party more on Saturday night than Friday night. So, hey, maybe I can join up Saturday night and get our whole crowd at the pool party out there on the show if we want to host an impromptu show on Saturday night. But meanwhile, let's see. I got a couple of other notes here. Yeah, and I wanted to mention again. I always say we try to stick to aeromodeling here. It doesn't matter what kind, RC, control line. You know, we all pretty much here specialize in control line, but any kind goes. Anything you do in your shop that's fun, that's fine. Just try to stay away from hot button topics that divide people. You know, I don't care if it's political or social hot topics or whatever news events. This just isn't the place for it, and it makes people go away. and I'm afraid sometimes when they go away, they're not going to come back. And I need you guys, you know, and we don't care what anybody's um, politics are. We just care about what you think about airplanes. Let's see. Jamie says Holford got touched by a. Okay, never mind. That goes right down there with what I was talking about. So y'all talk about what you want to over there on YouTube, actually. But for in the video, let's stick to models and planes, trains, and automobiles. Um, and let's see, in the hospital also, Charlie Reeves. Most of y'all, a lot of y'all, in this half of the country, he's in Kentucky, know him, and he's got a neck problem. He had surgery, but he's going to be okay. It's just a recovery period. It's coming right during the middle of the spring season, so he's going to miss Huntersville and you know some of the other. I think Tom. He said something about Tom Looper's gathering. I'm not sure what that is. I know Tom, but not sure what that contest or whatever is. But nah, sorry, Charlie. If you're watching, I apologize. I can commiserate with you. I know missing these contests is hard to do, in this, especially the spring contest or any of them really, when you're all set and raring to go. But anyway, if when we missed something last week, you know, occasionally we talk about. Oh, let's see, we've got somebody joining up here, and that is Rich. Hang on, looks like we got a couple of people joining up at the same time. Let me let Rich in first, show and broadcast, and Leonard. Okay, Leonard, turn your mic on and you will officially be a member of the video chats. Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
How are you tonight?
Pretty good.
Well, that pretty much wraps up my opening comments. I'll get back to what else I had to say when we get some more visitors here. See, we got a couple of other things to report on, but glad to see you guys in here tonight. There was another. Where'd Leonard go? Leonard Burrell was with us, but his microphone was muted. Maybe he'll try again in a minute.
Yeah, I got a guy named Al Rorstaff. Al Rorstaff will be on.
Okay, here comes Leonard again. Let me.
My laptop Wednesday, so.
Okay, there's Leonard again. Leonard, I can unmute your mic if you can't. Let me try it from here and see if I can do it. Click on the little red microphone. There we go. Okay, Leonard, can you hear me?
How are you?
Oh, good. Now I can hear you. All right, you finally got in.
My wife knows how to do it. She figured it out in no time.
Good. Yeah, it's not hard, but you know, when I was trying to help you on the phone the other day and explain how to cut and paste, I realized that we were in deeper than I originally expected.
Oh yeah, I was in a lot deeper than I.
Thank you for getting Leonard squared away and online. We appreciate it.
This is Naomi, in case you didn't know her name. My wife's name is Naomi.
I'm the host of the show. This is
Rusty.
the Stunthangar Control Line Forums video hangout we have every Monday and Friday night, and usually.
Okay.
So we talk about toy airplanes.
That's what we do. That's what we do around here. Talk about toy airplanes too.
Gray-haired guys playing with toy airplanes, or bald-headed guys playing with toy airplanes.
Well, I don't think I fall in that category.
Well, we got a few women, mostly wives of guys, but we get a few women that join us once in a while too. So you're not out of our element here.
Well, I build and fly.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah. Only since I've been with Len, but I'm a very active member.
Good. Oh,
we flew this week.
I wonder if he's. Let me let Jamie in. Hope he's away. Hope he's out of the hospital by now. And hey, Jamie, are you okay, man?
I'm alive.
Spent a day in the emergency room, did you?
Last 8 hours.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Well,
How come? Okay.
so you're at home now?
Oh no, I'm admitted.
I don't know why my screen
Oh
looks so
man.
big.
Nice little room.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad you found a place to plug your phone in. Last I saw it was down to 20% or so.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Thanks,
when I was
Bob.
in the ER.
Well, how long you going to have to stay, you think?
It might just be one night.
Good.
Just, for the IV antibiotics that are much stronger than the pills that we're taking to kick in gear.
Okay. All right. Well, get well soon, man. Too many of our friends are in the hospital right now.
Oh, yeah.
And so anyway, all right. When we signed off on Monday night, I told y'all to do something fun this week. Come back and tell us about it on Friday. So what you got for us, Rich, Leonard, Jamie?
Oh, not much. Was flying, doing a lot of flying lately.
I finally got to see Al Ferraro's cafe pattern video. I looked at it today. I couldn't find it. I have a hard time finding things on Facebook, and I finally got him to post me the link to it. But he flies a respectable pattern for a half-A plane.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested. I'm building a Brodax stork. Should be done first of the week, and I'm kind of interested how much fun it's going to be on a half-A pattern.
It'll probably be pretty intense. It looked like Al was flying right at 4 seconds. It was hard to tell. They had the phone vertical instead of horizontal, so it was like looking through a keyhole at him flying. And but the best I could count, he was right at or under 4 seconds on the lap times. But it ran for about 7 or more than 7 minutes, so he got plenty of fuel in it.
Yeah, because I'm going to set this one up on a bladder, so get a good consistent run that way, and then I can adjust the fuel load.
Yeah. Al sounded like he was definitely on a bladder because it didn't stag or sputter one time.
Yeah.
I forget what kind of engine he said he had in it, but you know, any of those Russian engines or
Yeah, 61. So
is there a TV? Anybody got a TV going in the background?
No.
yeah, right. Let me turn that.
Probably more than the hospital
Might
bed.
be. It can be. I mean, it picks up people's TVs like crazy. Oh, that's a lot better.
I forgot about that damn thing on it.
When it first started, I thought it was our usual background chatter, but
Yeah.
But no, it sounds pretty clean now. Sometimes when Sparky comes in, that chatter starts, and we've never been able to figure out why that is. I got my chat box covered up with stuff I was talking about. Let me see who all's over there. Jamie gave us a super chat. Thank you, Jamie. We appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Sinclair's there. Hi, Gary, and welcome tonight. I think we about got the calendar done. It looks really good too. I'm excited about it. We'll be sending out calendars to all of you that send us pictures and donations. So, and it looks like Al Ferraro's out there. Hey, Al, we were just talking about you. I watched your half-A video today. Let me run back up the list, see if I missed anybody. Jack Snavely's out there. Jamie Holford. Okay, that's about it. Jack said he started his MK17 diesel engine today. It was cool. Did some running adjustments. A 17 size engine, huh? Or maybe that's just a model number. I don't know anything about diesels. Anybody know what an MK17?
Never heard of it.
I don't know either. Oh well, anyway. Maybe Gerald will come in with us tonight because there was something I wanted to mention. The Dawn Patrol Parade, or what's it called? That let's see, where is that? Dave, one of my friends from CoxEngineForums.com from Palmerston, New Zealand, he builds some plastic models, and the Anzac Dawn Parade was in New Zealand near where he lives, and he lives near Okaya Air Base. So if Gerald's here, I hope he can talk about that some. Anzac stands for Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. So see if Gerald can tell us anything interesting about that. It's in the middle of the day right now where Gerald lives, so we'll see if he comes in. Sometimes he's busy with the kids. And all.
But the
Okay,
only,
Lynn, what about you? You got anything? What do you prefer to be called, Lynn or Leonard?
Yeah,
Or
Len's fine.
anybody
Len's
ever call you Leo?
I'm sorry?
Does anybody ever call you Leo?
Not usually. It's either Len or Lenny or Leonard.
I guess people that are called Leo, I guess that's probably short for Leonard. I don't know.
I think the only one who ever called me Leo was my lawyer.
Okay, we'll leave that one alone then. Oh, Jack Snavely says the diesel he's playing with is a popular Russian engine.
Yeah, not familiar with that one.
Yeah, yeah. If it's diesel, I'm lost. I've never even cranked one before. But yeah, I expect to get out in the shop some today. I've got to get a plane flighted for Huntersville to take up there, and Michael Andre wants to help get me a swiveling chair to fly if I can't walk. However, yesterday all of a sudden my hip that's been bothering me for the past 4 weeks, maybe more than that, all of a sudden just cleared up and got way better, and I was able to walk around. I was forgetting
Awesome.
my cane up and walk around, so that's a huge improvement. Today's not quite as good as yesterday, but it's still a lot better. And so I just need to take it easy on it for a couple of days. If I go out to the shop on the concrete floor, I'll be careful, but maybe I'll be able to stand and fly and won't need that swivel chair.
You need some of those rubber interlocking mats from Walmart.
Yeah, I do. I've got some mats that I bought at Lowe's that are squishy like that, but they're not as thick. My buddy Wayne, his wife is a teacher, a kindergarten teacher, and so they throw those mats away about once a year. And so Wayne brings them home, and he's got walkways all around his tables in his shop laid out with those, and they're great.
That's what I've got in my garage and my shop.
They're so good on the knees. They absorb a lot of that, and the concrete just sucks the life out of me.
Totally.
In weather.
Because I'm working in the basement in the shop all the time, or in the shop in the garage almost every day.
Yeah. Leonard, are you in Michigan?
No, I'm in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just on the other side of the border.
The other night. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of Michiganians on here.
They're not far from us.
All those houses up there in snow country are built with basements. Down here, basements are something we don't have unless somebody just builds a custom design with a basement. Because
Okay.
this is not needed.
Well, the only good thing about it for me is it gives me 2 workshops, one in the basement and one in the garage.
Yeah.
The basement one's a lot warmer in the winter than the garage one.
That's down there where the air handler for the furnace and the hot water heater and all that stuff probably is, isn't
That's right. You betcha.
it? I had a friend in college. Well, he was a college friend, but I went to visit him after college, and he had bought a house, had a family, and we were down in his basement shooting pool one night. And I looked over. This guy's a engineer with a full-time engineering job. And I look over, and he's got a gas hot water heater with boxes of magazines stacked against it, leaning right up against the
That's
door.
scary.
The pallet. I'm like, Dave.
Not a good idea.
Aren't you an engineer, dude? And he says, yeah, why? And I pointed. I said, does that seem like a good idea? And he had a head slapping duh moment. I can't believe that. Some people can learn to be engineers, but still don't have any common freaking sense.
I had a neighbor once who did something like that, who had a whole pile of stuff piled against their furnace, and I was like, whoa.
Not a good idea. I do let my fire extinguishers expire, and as long as the needle's still in the green, I don't worry much about them. I wonder, those powder fire extinguishers from Walmart, I wonder how good they are after that expiration date.
Haven't
I'm
had to
thinking,
use one yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah, I got the same thing. And if you squeeze the handle on it, you might as well throw it away 'cause it's shot. But I think it'd be worth investing in a new one than playing with the old ones. And John Skukulak just sent us a super chat. Thank you very much, John. We appreciate that. The super chats are important to us. Keeps us in business.
Yeah, I haven't really had nothing exciting going on other than I ordered a Tom Dixon profile Vector 40. That's about it.
You're going to love that airplane. I got 2 of them.
And I mean, only
Well,
only really jumped on it because I mean, the wings already come sheeted, and if I really wanted to, I could use the wing on my Vector 40 kit with the full fuselage that I'm building because it's the same wing. But I want to do a full fuse and a profile matching paint schemes, everything, so I could fly the full fuse and PA and use the profile and profile. And the price is too good to pass up.
Yeah.
I've got enough models to keep me busy for a while. I've got the half-built Cardinal, of course. I've been talking about that ever since it went down. But I've got a brand new Flight Streak that I'm keeping in the house. I don't want it out in the shop where it doesn't have any environmental control. And I've never had a full-size Flight Streak before, so that's on the list of things to build. I got a Sterling P-51 Mustang that I want to build to accompany my Yak 9. And God, I think I got a couple more too. I just can't think of. I got another little Satan that I probably ought to build it because my little scratch built Satan from 2011 is getting the lines are getting frayed. I've put Dacron lead outs on it, which was dumb, and they're starting to fray. So that plane's going to bite the pavement one day.
My buddy Stan, he does a vintage
I'm
performance.
surprised though. Dacron holds up for a long time. It's pretty tough stuff.
It does. I've got it running through nylon tube lead outs, but it's still like I'm starting to see some frays around the edge, but it's got a lot of flights on it. And I've got it souped up with a TD, so it really rips when I fly it. And so
That's awesome.
yeah, it's just time to be prepared for that one to go. It's got a bladder fed TD-04 down on it. I pretty much use bladders on all of my half A's. It's the only way to keep them running dependably and get first flip starts out of them.
Yeah.
So once you know where the needle's set, you don't ever have to change it. I count the turns after every flight. I just take it out and flush everything out, put it all back together, count the turns back in, and out at the field the next time it's ready to go.
Yeah, I tried flying my little Satan last Sunday with a Golden Bee. I overhauled the engine with the
Got
little
a pile of airplanes on the go here this year.
Keep going, Jim.
Was that?
Sorry?
I said, keep going. About your little Satan with a Golden Bee.
Oh, yeah, I flew it last Sunday for Easter, family around and kids to see and whatnot. But I overhauled the motor with the little overhaul kits. You got the little tank kit, with all the gaskets, springs, screws, and all that stuff. And I mean, test running it, it ran fine. But whenever I go to fly it, it wouldn't hold needle that good. So I switched the needle out with a Black Widow needle that's fairly new. And same thing, it would just go in and out, and it just wouldn't hold a good.
Yeah, those tanked with the integral tank Babe Beast style engines are just they're just an air leak waiting to happen. It's almost impossible to find them. I've built so many of them, and they run perfect on the stand and won't fly. And I just gave up. I put back plates on them and either a hard tank or a bladder. And believe it or not, reed valve engines will run really nice on a bladder as long as it's just that lightweight surgical tubing.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, I got a handful of them little tiny ounce and a half, 2 ounce perfect tanks, you know,
Yeah.
or half ounce, 3/4 ounce. You know, I got a bunch of them little ones. And I mean, I got a bunch of old baby B tanks. So I'm just gonna drill a hole in one of them, or just get the little plastic backplate that has a little fuel inlet, and just do it that way.
I love Cox engines, but it's not worth the headache to screw with those built-on tanks.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing else wrong with Cox engines other than that, but it's just too
Mhm.
many opportunities for air leaks.
Yeah, because as soon as I do a loop, oh, it just go rich, and then it go lean, and then it go rich, and I'm like, so much for a stunt tank, you know. But it is what it is.
I think that bladder I use has got an inside diameter of about 3/16 or something like that. It's pretty small stuff. It could be an eighth of an inch. I don't know, but it's not a lot of pressure. It looks like about the size of a bratwurst when it grows. You know, it gets that big around and it just grows longer as you fill it up with fuel.
Mm-hmm. What motor are you planning on doing with your flight streak?
I think a OS Max S35. I like that engine. Somebody gave me a couple of extra ones, and I've got one on my shoestring. It's the only one I've ever flown, but it ought to be in the dictionary next to 4.2 brake. If you could look 4.2 brake up in the dictionary, that's what ought to be pictured next to it. It's just a remarkably good running engine. And Bob Zambelli made me a Venturi part because it came with a carburetor on it. I don't know what size it is, but whatever he made works nicely.
Yeah,
What
I
kind
have
of fuel
one.
do you run in your OS 35s or Foxes?
I run PowerMaster 1022.
Okay.
I don't put that. When I first got the Fox 35, I ran the 529, but that stuff's like running snot through the engine. And 1022 works fine. Just be careful and try not to get a lean run. You know, that's the main thing all that oil prevents.
So 1022, is that all caster or half synthetic?
That 529 was all caster, but the 1022 I run is half and half.
Okay.
And if I run out of that and all I can get is SIG 1020, then it's almost seamless. I can't even tell. I don't even have to reset the needle after I change over to that. It runs just the same. Sometimes I'll add a couple of ounces of some drugstore caster and shake it up, but that stuff doesn't seem to mix up all that well because I've found it congealed in the bottom of empty bottles after I finish the bottle, and it just settled down in there.
I've been running Rich's Brew 20% all, or sorry, 10% with 20% all caster, and I'm not having much luck with it. Even adding
Really?
more caster didn't seem to help. It's running too hot all the time.
All caster is usually really good about taking the heat out.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe the fuel jugs were mislabeled or something, and the one I got may not be all caster fuel, because I added another 4 to 6 ounces of caster to the jug, and my motors are still melting down. Like they start out okay, then it goes lean, and then it just melts down, and it doesn't seem to matter what engine or plane I use.
That sounds completely wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I tried to run a Super Tiger 35 the other day, and it did the same thing.
Hmm.
So now I'm afraid to put this fuel in anything.
Or caster requirements either. I mean, Super Tigers will run on pure synthetic, won't they?
Yeah, but this is an older Super Tiger 35.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, you might be using a bad batch there because I've heard good stuff about Rich's brew.
And I
Ken,
used to run it and I never had a problem with it before. Like I've run it for years and I've only run it with just straight 20% oil castor and it's run like 10% nitro, 20% oil all castor. And it ran fine in my foxes and now it won't.
that
It won't
sounds
do it.
like the right stuff. Yeah. Ken Cook, my buddy from the Philly Flyers, says Rich's brew is really good stuff. Here comes Steve Hines. Let me let Steve in.
Yeah.
There you go, Steve. Good evening.
How's it going?
Oh, we're going pretty good. We're grooving right along. We got off to a
Leonard,
quick start tonight.
how's it going, Len? Len,
So
can you hear us?
what you do this week, Steve? Did you get any stick time or building time?
Did I?
Yeah.
Flew twice this week and uh, built that.
Oh, that's looking good. Well, since we're on the subject of Rich's Brew, you've mentioned it before, haven't you? Have you used Rich's Brew?
Yeah, yep,
Yeah, I've used it too. No problem.
yeah. Dick has too.
Yeah.
Glenn says he's got a bottle that melts engines, so might be a bad bottle.
Because I mix my own now, but
Last year and the year before, that was all the Nats fuel for racing and combat stuff like that. So
he supplied all of it. Yeah.
yeah, he supplied all the Nats with fuel.
The racers have a
Pylon,
central supply at their contests, don't they? Don't they all use out of the same supply?
jugs, and 10%, whatever, 20% oil, whatever it is. Everybody uses the same thing, and the pylon motors and the speed motors didn't come apart, so must be okay fuel.
Yeah. Oh, here comes Sparky. Let me let the Sparkster in. Hey, boss. He's got his mic muted. He'll be with us in a minute.
I can't seem to hear anybody except for you, Rusty, and Rich.
Oh,
Really?
you
Yeah.
can't hear me, Len?
Who just said that they can't hear anybody but me and Rick?
Len, me.
Len,
Oh, really? You don't hear Steve talking?
Nope.
How about me?
Can you
How
hear
about
Dick?
who?
Ask him if he can hear Dick.
Nope.
Hello? Yeah, he's talking about it. Yeah, he can hear
Yeah,
me.
see, I can hear Rich, no problem.
Can you hear me, Rusty?
Yes.
I can hear everybody. Everybody else hears me or not?
Yeah, I got no problem.
Yeah, I hear everybody. Sparky hadn't said anything yet, but I assume I can hear him. I always can.
Well, we'll see. Okay.
Hi. Hello?
Hey, Sparky, we got you. Is that the Monado you got on the table there?
Yeah, lightening it up.
So did you fly it?
Yeah. So you got your new stab on it yet?
No, I'm not gonna do that till I fly it. I've taken 3 ounces out of the nose.
Oh, you never got out the other day to fly it like you were going to?
No, it was windy.
Man, it was blowing the bark off the trees in Columbia today. It was really windy.
Yeah, same up here.
We supposed to get what, 3 to 8 inches of snow in Michigan?
Oh crap!
That's what they're saying.
I don't think it's gonna. No, they're saying it's gonna stop before it gets to me. I don't know. Rich may get a little bit, but we'll see.
It's supposed to be sweating weather here. Lynn, can you still not hear Steve talking?
I can hear you. That's all I can hear, and Rich.
Oh, for Pete's sake! How can that be possible?
You
I
can't
don't
hear.
know.
You can't
I
hear.
just turned my speakers up. That didn't seem to help.
Can you hear Sparky?
He spoke to us once.
Hello, Len, can you hear me?
Apparently not. Sparky
Knucklehead.
just shouted at you, Lynn, but you can't hear him, can you?
No, can't hear anything.
Turn them up. Turn everybody up.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, it's up. That's okay. Rich is up. Leonard's all the way up. Steve Hines is all the way up, and Sparky is all the way up. Okay,
Now,
we're
can,
all one of them now.
How about now, man? Can you hear us
Yeah,
now?
see, like Steve's talking and I can't hear anything.
No,
that's really weird.
That's
Yeah.
because in Canada.
the only suggestion I got is to log off and log back in. I
Yeah.
don't know if you can do that without going and getting your wife again. But
I might have to. I'll give that a try if I have to.
okay,
Naomi, she'll fix it.
yeah,
Tell
I
Lynn,
have.
Naomi,
That's a
log me
problem I
off,
have
log me
never.
off, and then log me back on again.
That's a problem I have never seen before on here.
Okay, we'll try it again.
Problems, but that ain't one of them.
tell him I have my passport, so my voice should be able to go to Canada.
Yeah, Steve says he's got his passport, so his voice should be able to go over to Canada.
Awesome.
I don't know. We've got all these new regulations now.
That's funny. See what's happening, Naomi, is I can talk and I can only hear one person on here.
Okay, so we're gonna log you out and
Try it again.
Yeah, that's all I can think. We have never had this
Okay, let me
problem.
sit.
I'll move over.
We can apparently only hear me and Rich, but we got two others.
Okay.
I wonder where Al Rorstaff is. He's got my laptop. I gave it to him Wednesday.
Yeah, you should give him a call and see if he's trying to get on.
Yeah. Because he was playing with it earlier and he got Wi-Fi hooked up and all that. I'd give him a buzz and see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Al Ferraro just checked in and says he can hear everybody on the YouTube side.
Well, tell him to get on here then. If he can hear us, then we want to hear him.
Be patient. Maybe he'll join us. We can talk about his half-A flight.
Oh, did you look at it?
Yeah, I did. It's pretty respectable. The wind blew him off, and he had to change sides of the circle. Oh, let's see. Let me let Lynn back in. He's joining up. Hang on, Lynn. I'm clicking you in now.
You log on, where are
And
you guys are on?
let me you unmute your mic.
Okay.
There you go. Now,
Can you hear me?
okay, testing. This is Rusty.
This-
Rich, sound off, guys.
He's still got his mic muted.
Oh, yeah, his mic's muted.
Is my okay.
Steve's on and
Lynn, can you unmute your mic again?
Sparky's on, a whole bunch of guys. Give it a
Let
shot.
me see if I can unmute your mic. Okay, there it is.
You're on now.
All right, everybody, one at a
Hello.
time. Sound off.
Steve.
Sparky.
I hear you now.
And Rich is on the telephone. Did you hear Steve, Sparky, and
Nope,
me?
gone. See that?
Thanks,
Thank-
Naomi.
Who else can you hear, Lynn?
See what happens.
Can you hear me, Lynn?
Naomi. Hello.
Naomi, can you hear me?
You guys need to talk.
Okay, we're talking.
Here we go.
Do you
Yeah.
hear us?
Yeah, I
Testing.
can hear
Okay.
you. Can you hear Rusty?
No, I can't hear.
Testing,
Now I
1,
can
2,
hear
3.
you, but not Rusty.
How about
Oh,
me?
okay.
Yeah,
Testing,
Rusty,
1, 2,
Rusty's
3.
gone blank now. Can't hear him.
All right.
That's wild.
You got your passport, Rusty?
No, I do not have a passport. I do have a hunting license, though.
I once stayed at a Holiday Inn.
Go figure. Now I've got you, and I've lost Rich and Rusty. Oh, we got Rich back. I got Rich. Now the only one I haven't got is Rusty.
Okay. Well, I probably have the least interesting stuff
Hi,
to say
Rusty.
anyway. Oh, Lynn, I can I can't do sign language, so I don't know.
Go figure.
So is he gonna get on? Oh, here's somebody.
That's Al.
Somebody's coming on.
Here's Al.
Did he sign back off?
There's Al.
There's
Yeah.
But
Kalamazoo is represented.
hey, Al.
Okay, we got two Riches now.
Yeah.
He's got
They're
my
different guys, though. Hey, Rich number 2, how you doing tonight?
His name is Al. That's
What?
Al.
Can't hear it.
Didn't even hear us.
That's Al with the glasses on?
Yeah, that's Al Rorstaff. He's in Kalamazoo.
Oh,
He's-
hey, Al.
He's got my laptop. I gave it to him Wednesday.
Oh, that's why it said Rich.
Yeah.
He might not be able to hear me either.
I can still hear you, Rich, okay, but I don't hear anybody but you and Steve.
Oops, he just turned the speaker, muted the speaker.
And this picture.
Yeah, he
So
apparently wasn't hearing us. He might have his speaker turned off or something.
Dusty, stop. Len, can you
All
hear
right.
me?
Yeah,
Len, can you hear me? Len Burrell.
Hit settings.
That's what I did.
no, he can't hear you, Sparky.
Okay, tell him to go up and adjust his speaker settings. He's probably got the speaker set to the wrong thing.
Try to go up and adjust your speaker settings, Sparky said.
tell him to mouse
I just
up to the
did
top of
that.
the screen.
Open the
That.
Steve, tell him to mouse up to the top of the screen till he sees the controls.
Hit that.
Mouse up to the top of the screen till you see control settings.
They'll
I've
pop
got it
up when he
set to-
mouses up there.
yeah.
It's just me, and I've got everything except the audio.
Yeah, we
Let me
can
try one more time.
Yeah, but I can't hear anybody.
put the mouse up in the center of the screen. There's a window that pops up.
Yep.
See the speaker? Is it muted or not?
I can't hear him either. He's got his mic muted.
Yeah, there it goes. Now it's not.
Okay.
Should be working.
Goodbye.
Now I can hear Al.
Yeah, so can I now.
Oh, there's Leonard Knightley again.
Okay, Lynn just came back. Okay, now unmute your mic, Lynn.
Good, I hear you.
There you go.
Unmute the mic.
Steve, can you
Okay.
hear Steve?
Yeah,
All right.
I think we're doing better now.
One at a time. Okay, this is Rusty. Lynn, can you hear me?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, Steve, talk.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay,
This is Sparky. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
Sparky, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
all right.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, looks like we got that now.
I don't want to touch
Rich
anything. I'll
number
bugger
2.
it up.
That's Al. That's not Rich. It's Al.
Hey, Al.
Al, I know, I couldn't remember. Okay, so I called him Rich number 2.
Can you hear us? Al.
Hello, Al.
Al, can you hear us?
Al, say something.
Can you say
Not everybody but Al now.
Hey, Rich, ask him on the phone if he's got the system sounds turned on.
Can any of you guys hear me?
I
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
you now. Got
We're good.
Okay, can you hear me, Al?
Can you hear Rusty?
I got you.
He's got Rich. I think on the laptop he has the sound turned off.
That could be. I don't remember how to turn it back on.
You go down to the system tray and click on the speaker and unmute it.
Yep. You're gonna have to call him back.
Yeah.
Call him on the telephone.
This is turning into a cluster frack.
Sorry, but I can only provide tech support to one person that I'm with.
I think you guys are straightened out there, Naomi.
We're good now. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well,
Yes,
let's
sir.
get Al straightened out. I think you guys are good.
I can hear you, but you can't hear any of us, right?
I cannot hear anything. No.
Yep.
Okay, Jamie Holford's coming in.
Down to the system grade.
Bottom right-hand side, there's a speaker
Yeah, I fixed it.
Real tech high
Going to the
definition.
settings.
And
Trying to get this guy on.
Click on the speaker.
where's the speaker?
Down bottom right-hand corner.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Turn it up.
Yep, I just did.
Okay.
All right, can you hear us now?
I'm there.
Okay, bye.
Just now out.
See ya.
There we go.
Hey,
Got it.
everybody's here.
Oh man, it
Holy
feels
cow, you
like
got a pile of people on here tonight.
Let's talk about airplanes now.
Okay.
Okay. Boy, I
Who's
think I'll
first?
go back and edit that part out when it's time to archive it into reruns.
Very
You know-
interesting startup.
Yeah. We were going along pretty good there for a minute, but anyway, so getting back to what y'all did for fun this week, I don't remember what else we were talking about.
the
We
last
flew
thing I'm talking about was my Vector 4.
on Wednesday.
Remember?
Sparky,
Yeah.
what is the difference between a Junar and a Juno?
Juno's I-beam wing, swept forward trailing edge. Big difference.
And it's an old design.
Yeah, big difference.
Oh, big difference, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was just the difference between a D tube and a I-beam or not.
Nope. Entirely different animal.
Yeah, Jeff Trexler picked up a Junar kit, and I don't know who made. There's no name on the thing, but it's all there. The box you got it for $75 on eBay.
A Junar kit?
A Juno.
Yeah.
It's a Juno kit. But he was wondering whoever made Juno kits, and I told him I don't know. But he thought it was laser cut, so I thought maybe RSM, but I couldn't find anything on the website.
Juno's a late 70s design.
Yeah, I guess that was his last I-beam kit or I-beam airplane.
I didn't think it was a kit ever.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I didn't know it was kitted either.
Speaking of people that build kits, we missed one. We had one of our old kit makers die last weekend on Saturday the 20th. Walt Musiano passed away
Yeah.
at
Oh,
90
no.
years old.
We built 2 Musianos this winter.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
he
2
was
little ones.
96 years old.
96. Good for him.
Yeah. Eddie from Michigan. I don't have a last name. He's just one of my Cox Engine Forum buddies. Said he received word from a fellow control line flyer that Walt passed away on Saturday at 96.
That's a shame.
That's Rich Kazmarski over in Lansing. That's he has every set of plans that Walter ever did. And one time, a little while back, about 2 years ago, he got 3 big boxes dumped on his front porch, and Walter sent him all of his paraphernalia, including vellum drawings and everything else that he had. Rich and he were very good friends, and of course, Rick Remoff here knows that we had a really good couple of years of Musiano contest out here in Kalamazoo, and Walter came to the first one, which was really cool.
Yeah, this guy mentions that too. Eddie from Michigan mentioned that Walt had come out there to that first one.
Yep. Yep.
I wonder
And,
do you know who Eddie might be from Michigan?
pardon me?
Do you know who Eddie from Michigan might be?
Eddie?
Yeah,
No, Ed.
maybe that's what he goes by. He's one of the Cox Engine Forum members, and he just goes by Eddie over there, and that's who posted this information that I gave you tonight.
Huh. No, I
Eddie
don't.
from Michigan. Let me read what else he wrote. He says he no, oh, he says in 2006 he in West Michigan, he and Larry Rice came to their first Musiano control line meet.
Oh, I'll bet you that's Ed Hines.
Yeah, that's who it
It
is.
is.
Yeah, okay. He's in our club.
Yeah.
Rich,
Okay.
he's a Fox guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Really?
that guy.
He's one of our Cox Engine Forum guys, so I didn't know the last name though, so I bet that's who it was.
Yeah.
Hey, Rusty, have you seen Mike Lonkey? Has he been back on?
He came on right after the show the other night, or right as I was closing the show, and we talked for a while, but that's all. I've talked to him on the phone a couple of times.
Well, I hope I didn't make him mad.
Yeah, I think the wah 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 kind of got him. He got sort of upset with that because he was here he wanted to talk about airplanes and doesn't like all that kind of other stuff. Even though y'all are in agreement on some things, but that's just not what he's here for. So
Well, this is a forum to talk about whatever.
yeah, it is. But we try to stick to aero modeling. I usually mention that at first, but hey,
Hello, you got to give people a break. I was trying to tell you. When I started the forum and there was a no politics rule, that wasn't about politics, U.S. politics. That was about the Brodak War. Since that's happened, I mean, you can't hardly say anything anymore. You got to self-censor. That ain't right.
yeah, well, what I was trying to say is it's your house. I know that or you talk about anything you want to. I just try to keep this show to aero modeling, but we start losing our YouTubers and others when we start getting on social hot topics, and so I just try to keep it away from that. That's all.
But yeah, there used to be a in the forum there where you could talk politics and argue and everything, but people got so mad and was so wound up about it, Sparky had to take it off.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I used to love it just to argue with people. But
I mean, my main mission is just to support camaraderie between aero modelers, and that's I just try to stick to that.
I know, but we're adults, should be able to talk about anything. And we didn't talk long, about 2 sentences.
so how much should a 40 size profile fuselage weigh? A vector, to be exact. Anybody have any idea?
What you do, should you do what?
What would a profile vector, the fuselage weigh?
Oh, how much should it weigh?
Yeah, what's a good weight? I don't know what profile fuselages usually weigh.
Light as possible.
Yeah. Well, I got one here,
That one's full of holes, so it should be pretty good.
so it should be. This one weighs 4.5 ounces right now before the 64 speed goes on it.
I know a guy who puts carbon fiber tubes in those things, and if you sealed off both ends and shot them full of something very light, that would help.
Spray foam.
Yeah, I thought about doing one. I just decided to do a Tom Morris. I bought this is that front end piece that um, Dennis Adamission's nephew makes. That's printed, and then that's Tom's battery box. And
Now Pat can print them.
Is that 3D printed, Steve?
yeah, that electric front end is all 3D printed.
That's pretty cool.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, so I figured I got some pictures from Tom, so I cut everything out and put the lattice work in it or whatever, and I just sheet it and see what it comes out to weigh.
Yeah, the trouble with that is, like my half-eight Pathfinder is built like that too. And the first time it hits the ground crooked, it cracks one of those longerons.
Well, I haven't had much luck with no matter what way my plane hits the ground. If it ain't, mine must always go in crooked.
Yeah, well, that's what I.
Mine usually hit the ground fast. That's my main problem.
Mine likes to hit it inverted. I don't know why.
Rich, did you tell him about that prop strike that unbalanced the prop on that electric airplane Wednesday?
Oh yeah, I told him the red and black line disintegrated.
Right off.
It was good until he went to full power. It started vibrating. It ripped the motor off the front, and the motor cut the inboard wing right off.
Wow.
It looked neat when it was coming down in a big, big ball. But
That happened at the Nats with a crossfire. That real pretty white crossfire. He was doing a loop and the prop hit the ground and it went in a prop strike, and the motor kept running and just ripped the nose right off.
yeah, it even cut the lead outs in the wing when the prop went through all the wing.
Wow.
Damn.
He went in a dumpster this afternoon, pulled the controls out of it, and scrapped it.
I was like at Brodak that one year. Gary Lutz's airplane, a guy launched it, and however he did it, he nosed it up and it hit prop and shortened it about a half an inch or so. The airplane takes off and just shook itself apart in the air. And Gary built some nice looking airplanes.
It just shook itself to pieces.
The fuselage let loose of the wing and everything else, and he actually fixed it and repainted it and stuff, but it was one of his dream girls with his daughter's picture on it and everything. It was, I forget what points he got, 18 or 19 points there at Brodak with it. And it shook it all to pieces. So he put it back together, but he built another one, so it must not have flew that good, or it was probably heavy then fixing everything. It cracked the fuse all down the side and shook the wing out of the fuselage, basically. But yeah, it was.
Let me tell our two new guys something, because we got Al and Lynn. Whenever you want to see what somebody's trying to show you, if you want to make their picture big, go down to the film strip and click or tap one time on their picture, and it'll highlight them, and you'll have them in a big screen. To make them go back down to the film strip, just click or tap them one more time, and they'll go back. So, like if I'm showing you something like this and you want to see a bigger picture of it, just click on my picture down at the bottom, and it'll all of a sudden get big, and you can see me.
Don't click on me though, because I'm big enough as it is. I don't need to be bigger.
Yeah, if he's showing something,
I'm getting close to having that problem too.
Hey, ain't nobody here gonna win any beauty contests.
No, not a chance. Retirement's been good for me in some ways, but boy, I think I'm eating a little too much.
No,
Hey, if
need-
you get a earring, if you get an earring and get rid of the glasses, you'd look a little like Mr. Clean.
Oh my goodness.
So you've been getting any flying in, Lon?
No. Well, actually, we flew this week on Wednesday. We got out and flew some half A's and a couple of twisters and a couple of combat jobs. Naomi's working on her stunts, so we did that. But nothing really. It's too muddy here. I crashed a twister because of a bad fuel run, and it didn't hurt it a bit. It went straight in. It's so muddy, it just sunk right into the ground. It's just like crashing into a big sponge.
Where are you from, Leonard?
Just on the other side of the border from Michigan, so I'm just in Canada, near
Oh,
Chatham, Ontario.
Okay. Yep.
Field.
What'd you say, Steve?
I said the bean field.
Yeah, well, I'm 5 minutes from the bean field.
Mhm.
All right,
That's
Russ.
where we fly every time we go. We can be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Brad Lapointe does a great job of keeping care of that place. It's unbelievable. It's so good. But right now it's just muddy because it just doesn't dry up right now.
Now,
Too early in the season.
We've
There-
got a guy over here who's trying to drain the swamp too.
Yeah.
We need to do that.
hey, they're in Chatham. Do they have an RC field too still or not?
They probably have a couple of them, but I don't know where they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the last time that I was there, we brought a camper and stuff, and we camped. It was RC, and they told us that if we wanted to hook up, the hydro was just behind the trailer. So I got a hose, and I never could find the damn water fountain, the water faucet. So they were talking about electric. I thought they were talking about water hookup.
That looks pretty tedious there, Sparky.
Yeah. I'm gonna paint them tomorrow.
You painting tomorrow?
Yeah.
What's the? You're probably going to get some bad weather tomorrow too, aren't you?
Yeah, but it just don't matter. It's the only time you gotta have good weather to clear.
I was just thinking about you getting to fly the Amato or the
We're
one.
supposed to get 3 to 5 inches of snow down here late tomorrow.
That's where
Oh, don't send me
Oh,
in.
somebody on YouTube asked Al a question. John Skukulek says, Al, does your club fly on the circle near the air zoo?
Yes.
That's where we fly.
Yep.
If you go to Google and Google the air zoo, you can see our circle back there.
That's
Why
paid.
do they call it the air zoo?
museum.
It's
Oh,
a aircraft museum.
Oh,
Cool.
until they started selling airplanes, they had the only set of 5 Grumman cats in the world. They had the whatever it is, the bear cat, the tiger cat, the hell cat, and the wild cat. And then they would bring in an F-15 Tomcat, and they'd all fly formation together on the air
all
show.
right.
Cat fight.
Then they got hurting for money, and they'd sell one of them at a time, and they finally got down. I think there's only Wildcat here now, but it's a good museum, and we're actually in the second year now of sponsoring a scale contest, and we try to promote that the museum is a good draw for the contest because it's a pretty interesting museum. They got a lot of stuff in it. Plus, they have a restoration center, which is out right where we fly, a couple 100 yards away, and they're rebuilding one of the airplanes that went into Lake Michigan during training carrier operations in World War II. Well, they've got that airplane there that they're working on.
We got Lake Murray here in Columbia, and there are a lot of planes at the bottom of the lake because, among others, the Doolittle Raiders home base their training here in Columbia, and would fly parties over Lake Murray. And there's a bunch of planes on the bottom of Lake Murray. That's like 360 feet deep in some places.
Yeah. Columbia, like in Indiana?
South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina. Okay. All right.
Hey, Rusty,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get off of here. I gotta eat dinner yet.
Okay, Sparky.
And tell Mike not to take it so hard. I don't want to ruin anybody's fun, you know.
I will. Yeah, I'll be talking to him, so I'll tell him. Thank you, Sparky.
I mean, I just wanted to say a couple of sentences. I don't like people telling me what I can and can't say.
I understand. Okay. Thanks, Sparky.
All right.
Here comes Bob Hunt too. So
Oh, that's Bob.
See you, Sparky.
See ya.
good night, Sparky. Hey, Bob.
Well, that was a mouse.
Sparky out, not in? Hold on a second.
What happened to the mouse?
All right.
Minnesota Mike just checked in. Hey, Minnesota Mike. He's over on the YouTube from California. Formerly from Minnesota. He called his drag car Minnesota Mike, I believe.
How's it going, Bob?
Hey, how you feeling, Chief?
Yeah, man. We've missed you. We hadn't seen you in a long time.
Well, I've been incommunicado for a couple of months. We've been completely.
Oh, I can't hear Bob.
Huh? Who's that?
You can't. Leonard Burrell says he can't hear your audio.
Oh.
Leonard, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, now I hear him.
You got it? Okay.
Oh, okay. Now he's in.
Yeah, we've been.
Hi, Bob.
How you doing? We've been completely revamping our house. We did the kitchen and the whole
In and out.
upstairs. So I've been kind of incommunicado.
Oh, good. Well, I hope you're happy with the new reno.
Oh,
Is it
yeah.
finished or you're still in the process?
What's that?
I say, I hope you're happy with your new reno. Is it finished or are you still working on it?
Oh, we're just putting the finishing touches on it now. A little paint and major paint is done, and just a lot of work, you know.
Did you get up on that board along the walls?
What's that?
Did you get that board up? I can't
What
think what
board?
you call it. It goes halfway up the wall.
Oh yeah. The chair rail. Yeah, we got the chair rail up and everything. Yeah,
Okay.
everything's good. You know. I'll show you something in a minute here. So what's up?
Not too much.
Oh, we pretty good. We have spurts of good conversation and then spurts of looking like a monkey playing with a football, trying to get people microphones and cameras and everything working. So we're in and out.
I can hear everybody but Bob. I can't hear him.
Huh.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't know what could be the problem there.
That may be a blessing.
You said it may be a blessing.
I got a red microphone for Bob. Let me make it white and see if that helps. I'll turn you up. Nah, microphone's still red. We're just going to have to go with it, Lynn. I don't know what to
That's
do.
okay. No problem.
Okay. Anyway. So John Skukulak, apparently joking, says, how many coats of paint and clear did you put on the kitchen, Bob?
Well, I don't know how many coats are on there, but we sanded enough off. Now we got to start buffing, you know. So
Yeah. You don't want it to be too heavy.
yeah. Well, this is what how it started out.
Let me click that up. Yeah.
We went right out to the studs.
Okay, I'm presenting to everyone. Everybody's got that big picture now.
We got it right after the studs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
And then this is what it looks like now, sort of.
Wow,
Good. Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, it's like building 4 stunt ships in one winter.
Some assembly required.
So it's really required. Yeah, absolutely. So what's everybody been doing?
Well, now that hot weather's coming around, a lot more people are coming back with flying reports. And I'm glad to see people getting outside.
Did I mention 3 to 5 inches tomorrow?
Oh, well, there is that.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, Rusty. It's an all electric kitchen.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. No alcohol powered stoves or anything.
No alcohol powered anything, no. And it's very quiet.
I bet.
What kind of timer are you using?
It's a timer in the microwave.
Oh,
Oh.
Have you been, so have you had any time to get out to your building table, or you just been focused solely on the kitchen?
Not very much. I've been doing wings for people and stuff as I can,
Yeah.
filling orders, but I haven't had a chance to really work too much on my own airplane, but that's gonna change,
You did send some pictures to Gary Sinclair for the calendar. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
He's going to be publishing it pretty soon. We've about got it edited as far as we can go. So
Yeah, I'll buy a couple of those. Well, hopefully you'll sell them and then donate the money to Sparky or something for Stunthangar,
yeah, I think these are going to be giveaways for people that sent pictures and give us donations and that sort of thing.
Give donation.
So, we are collecting a few donations in the super chat and the YouTube, and I appreciate that from all of you guys.
Yeah.
Anything helps.
Hmm.
And you heard about Walt Musiano. He died last Saturday,
Oh, wow.
96.
He was a good guy.
Yeah.
96. God bless him. 96.
Yeah. He and Bob were good friends. When Bob moved down here and we started getting to know each other and found out we were both Musiano modelers, Bob, talking about Bob Zambelli, gave me just a whole sheet of plans because he had helped Walt work on a lot of those planes, consulted, I think, talking about designs and building some of them for prototypes. And I'm not sure what all, but Bob gave me a whole pile of great plans. And so one of these days I'll start putting some of those together. I've got a few Musiano planes. Most of them are old and beat up now.
I had a lot of correspondence from him, and I talked with him several times back when I was working at Flying Models. Very nice man, gentleman.
He always wears interesting clothes in the pictures I see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's, from what I understand, he was a pretty good character, and some of these guys had a half a contest in Michigan. I think we were talking about that earlier, and Walt came out to their first half a contest where they were flying Musiano planes. They were thrilled to have him come visit.
Did he design the American Boy?
I don't know the name of it. If I looked through my plans, I could find out, but I don't know for sure.
Scientific airplane? I think he did.
If it's a scientific, there's a good chance he did.
Yeah. I remember flying one of those out in the front back in the 50s, about 57, 58. Flying one of those out in the front of my dad's company. We had a company up in Berkeley Heights, New Jersey, and Red Reinhardt and I were flying it out in front. It was pretty cool. Red was doing all kinds of stunts with it.
One of my favorites, not half a, but is the stunt rocket. Mm-hmm. And Bob used to bring it out to the fort and fly it. But he built his out of molded fiberglass rather than the kit, which I guess the kit was balsa, but he had a spark plug Atwood 46, I think, in it, and that was a fun plane to watch. I'd love to try to fly one. He did not offer, so I didn't ask.
Warren Tiard had one out at VSC many years ago. He still has the airplane. It didn't fly very well, but it was gorgeous. He did a beautiful job on it. It was just a little heavy, you know. It was beautiful.
Yep. Well,
I was looking to see if
I got to get across the state tomorrow. There's the North American Model Engineering Show over in Detroit tomorrow, and I think I'm going to leave about 6 o'clock for that. So I'm going to say goodnight to everybody and sign off, and we'll do this again. And thanks, Rich, for the use of the computer.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
Take
Al.
it easy.
Yep.
Good to meet you.
Coming in, Al. Appreciate
Good
it.
night.
It's always good
Right,
to
Al.
get new folks in here. Trying to find a picture of the old stunt rocket here. Got one somewhere. So, Bob, are you going to make it to any contest, or are you just staying home this season?
I might go to a few local contests, but I'm not going to go to anything major. Not ready for that yet. Doing a lot of designing and engineering, and I'm going to be the handle monkey for Dean Pappas's new timer system that he came up with this guy Ed Holt, who owns an electronics company. They designed a system for radio control pattern. It's a throttle management system for electric pattern flyers, so they don't overuse the battery early in the flight. And it's become almost universally accepted, and it's really a landmark design. So we put them to work onto our problems, and they've studied everybody's timers, and they've come up with a way of making what we feel is going to be a far superior timer to anything on the market today.
That's crazy.
And I'm going to get a chance to test fly it.
Yeah, not me.
Is it gonna be kind of like Igor's with the?
I'm sworn to secrecy on how it works, and when everybody finds out how it works, they're going to do a Homer Simpson, hit themselves in the forehead with their fist, and say, "Dope! Why didn't I think of it?" It's so simple and so obvious that no one's thought of it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not allowed to, under penalty of death,
Oh, yeah. Serious stuff there.
No, look at that.
Let's see. That's Bob's stunt rocket. I got one wingtip cut off there, but it's still that was just about about 2 years ago. We took that picture out at Fort Jackson. That's Wayne Robinson with his primary force, and me with my Yak 9 that Howard Rush made headers for.
Yak 9.
Yeah, and I got a P-51 sister plane to it that I need to build so they can hang together in the shop. Maybe take it out and fly them together sometime.
I got a great Yak 9 story for you if everybody wants to hear it.
Yeah, do tell.
My dad, this goes back to about, I don't know, 57 or so, 56, 57, maybe 57. My dad had bought me a Yak 9 kit for Christmas or my birthday or something. And Red Reinhardt, who worked for my dad, he was down in our basement working, and my brother, he got into a discussion, and my brother said, "Oh, I can build an airplane in one night." And Red said, "No, you can't." And he said, "I'll bet you $1 I can build an airplane overnight and have it ready to fly in the morning." Now, this is long before CA, 5-minute epoxy, and all that stuff. So Red bet him $1. So my brother didn't have anything to build. So he said to me, he's older than I am. He's 10 years older. So he said, I'm gonna take your Yak kit. I'll replace it for you, but I need your yak kit. And of course, I didn't want to give up my yak kit, but reluctantly, I gave it to my brother, and he went to work, and he had it ready to fly the next day, but it looked awful. It wasn't sanded. It was just horrible. So when he got done at the end of the day, he says, well, here, it's already built. Now you can have it. And, are you kidding me? You're handing me this piece of garbage and, you're not going to buy me a new kit, And I think they cost all of about $250 back then, so. So I got this horrible yak.
Yeah, one overnight build can't look anything but horrible.
It was horrible.
Recognize that, Dennis?
And he won the $1 from Reinhardt, but I lost my kit. So
We just had Dennis Adamson join us. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, top of
Hey,
the
Dennis.
evening, guys. Sorry I'm late.
It's all right.
where's Denny?
He should be.
Right there, back in the corner.
You recognize that, Dennis?
There he is.
Yeah,
Hey, brother.
Yeah, see, Steve, looks like you got a
I can't hear
Tom
him.
Morris there.
Yeah, got that from Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All printed like that.
Yeah,
That's a
one of my
3D printed engine mount. That's what that is.
Yeah.
I can't hear Dennis.
Say testing 1, 2,
how
3,
about
Dennis.
now?
Let me turn him all the way up. Okay, Dennis is turned all the way up now.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
You can't hear me either?
I just got a message that said Bob muted Dennis. Let me see if I can unmute. Okay, I just unmuted.
Oh, I thought you said Bob neutered Dennis.
Okay, Dennis is muted right now for some reason. Hang on. Okay.
I can't hear
Yeah,
Dennis
hang on.
or Bob.
The controls keep going by themselves.
Len, I think that you can only hear the people that when you come in are already in. The new people
Yeah.
you can't hear.
Yeah, that's true, I think.
No.
Right. Nobody mess with anything. I'm gonna
Okay, how's that?
try to unmute Dennis, but I keep seeing the volume control sliding back and forth by itself.
How about
Muting and unmuting. Okay, Dennis is on and up. Say testing 1, 2, 3, Dennis.
I can hear you guys fine.
I hear you.
Dennis. Okay. Dennis, say testing 1, 2, 3. Let's see who can and can't hear you.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Who can't hear that?
Me.
Me.
You can't hear it either, Bob?
Nope.
Hmm.
That's so weird.
Hey, coming in great to hear.
I got a red microphone on Bob too, and I can't change it.
I hear everything except Bob and Dennis.
Mercy.
Oh well.
I don't know what's up. I can hear Bob fine. But according to
I'm gonna disappear and come back.
see what happens. We've had a little weird problem like that tonight.
I think it's Bob and Len. It's not everybody else. I don't know why. Every time once he gets off and gets back on, he can hear everybody then who's on. But once a new person comes in, he can't hear them.
Huh.
Right now, my microphone for Bob is red, but I still hear him. Okay, here comes Dennis again. Almost there. I got to let you in. Okay, now you're in. Okay.
Okay, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening. I hear you. Can everybody else hear Dennis?
Dennis,
I can't hear.
All right. Tell them they don't know how
But that's
lucky
okay.
they
I
are
talked to him
being
for
here.
about an hour today, so you know.
Well, Dennis says you don't know how lucky you are if you can't hear him. Now, hang out, Dennis. Maybe it'll clear itself up.
We talked for about an hour earlier today, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a 5-minute phone call, lasted about an hour. That's about normal for us.
I don't know if you'll have an answer for me or not, Dennis. If you look at that mount or whatever, that motor that I like, arrow wind,
Mm-hmm.
there's like a step in that, and I'm wondering if I can grind that step out without hurting that mount.
What step is? I don't understand. Where's the step?
See how it comes here? Can you see where
Yeah.
my finger's at? Then it drops down.
So it's just really close to the motor.
At the motor, that's all the closer I can get. I can't even get it all the way up. If I grind that step out of there, I don't know. I'll take the motor out.
Oh, I see the little step you're talking about.
That little step in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not. Let's see. I lost you there.
There's a little shoulder that's in the way.
Yeah, right about. Okay, I see that shoulder right at the back. I don't know. I don't think it'd be a problem if you took that out.
I don't either. It shouldn't be a structural problem.
Let's see. The how close is it? Looks kind of close, top and bottom too. Like if you had the motor in there, would you have enough clearance? You think?
Yeah, it's got. Can you see it?
Yeah. Looks. That's what I say. It. Just looking at the pictures there, it looks awfully close.
Yeah, I guess I could go with that black. Get one of the black motors.
Yeah, I think Morris has been setting them up for Cobras and stuff like that. They're smaller diameter. The arrow wings are bigger. So.
That's why I like that big diameter motor, but
Yeah.
it may not work with that mount.
Let's see.
Get on it and have the front end of the damn mount come off. So I do have one. I already put it in that other vector, but I can pull that out, put this one in.
What kind of plastic is that mount made out of?
Looks like a nylon, but I'm not sure.
So it's something epoxy won't really stick to.
No, it's a print. It's a 3D printable nylon.
I'm going to sign off and come back in and see if I can get this thing working. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm using something like that. One of the printable plastics.
So I guess you got to screw it in, right?
I've been sanding on it a little bit. Because there is a little bit of waver, but it's really nice made.
What I'm asking is, what are you going to secure it with? Because you can't epoxy it. Epoxy won't stick good enough to that plastic reliably, will it?
I guess he probably just roughed it up and then it looks like it's in there.
Here comes Bob. Let me get back in.
A special kind of epoxy for it. It's a I forget the material. It's like a urethane style epoxy. It's a 2-part urethane glue that grabs like crazy, and it's so it works really well on it.
I can hear you now, Dennis.
After a long time. Hey, Bob, am I coming in any better yet?
Yeah, you sound just like you did earlier. You sound just like you did earlier today.
Okay.
Everybody's microphones are white now, so that's a good thing.
How about you, Len?
I think so. Yeah, we're all in now.
Len, you okay?
I hear very little.
I don't
hear Rich.
I don't think I have
Hear
adjustments I can make. But
Rusty, and that's about it.
Yeah, we'll just have to do the best we can tonight.
Okay.
Len, try signing out and then sign back in.
Yeah, I hear everybody fine.
Tell Len to sign out and sign back in. That did it for me.
Your system seems to be working good, Rich.
Yeah.
Len, Bob's suggesting signing out and signing back in. That helped him, but you've already done that a couple of times, haven't you?
Yeah, I can go out and I'll see if I can get back in. If not, I'll just go to the YouTube Hangout for time.
Yeah, we'll see you over there.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right. See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
What's Len's last name?
Burrell.
Burrell.
Lenny Burrell. Okay.
Up from Canada.
Gotcha.
Hey? Oh, sorry.
Just over the border.
That's it. Okay, yeah, Steve, that mount's probably designed for the Cobras and stuff that Tom's been making. Let's see, somebody asked what the plastic was, and there's a lot of different printable plastics. He's probably using something called PET, which doesn't mean an awful lot to me. I think it's a version of the PET that thermally stabilized or something like that. It's a little higher temperature, I guess, a little harder or tougher than the normal PET. I don't know. You'd have to talk to my brother about it. He's been printing a bunch of different materials and for different applications and stuff. I'm really not sure where he's at. And the epoxy he's using, it's a two-part. I believe it's a urethane. It's a smells like it smells like the devil when you mix it up. And of course, the smell goes away when it hardens up. But it's like an epoxy. It's the equivalent of if you ever use shoemaker's goop for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it smells like that. It smells like hell. But it has the what's nice about it is that it grabs on anything, and it's a little resilient too. It's not rock hard, glass hard, brittle hard. So that works good.
I think I'd consider securing it with a couple of screws too.
Now the thing is made. It's got like a channel on the top and the bottom to the fuselage.
Yeah.
So, and that was already installed when you got it, right, Steve?
Yeah, I bought it. I had a battery box like that, but I wanted to see how he did it. And yeah, there's hardwood rails that go from here on this side into that piece. And then the back one just makes the square box right there. Then I added on around it. So yeah, it's
okay. I think he uses the lower chamber for the ESC or something. Is that how that works?
Yeah, he puts the timer about there, and then he slides. There's a hole in that, and then that's where the ESC goes in there. But and part of it sticks out because the ESCs are too long. But so yeah.
Just make sure it gets a nice clean, gets some airflow. The ESC is about the hottest part of the whole system. So
yeah, make sure it gets air to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He drills holes. Air.
Yeah, ventilate the battery box. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this actually gets a little magnetic. There's a hole drilled right here for a pin, and a cover goes on over it that's open down here on the bottom. So it goes through there. It's supposed to cool the battery and the stuff. So
yeah.
But
all right. Oh man, looks like Lenny wasn't able to get signed back in, unfortunately. Oh well.
What's wrong?
Hey, Lenny Burrell looks like he wasn't able to get back in.
He probably had to go get Naomi to do it for him.
Yeah.
That's who
He
did it.
said he'd come back in on YouTube if he couldn't get back in the video.
Yeah.
He probably forgot his passport.
Yeah. He made it as far as the border check, and they stopped him. So.
Yeah, we talked about that passport might be the problem.
Last time I came back from Canada on a motorcycle, I got stopped. I got pulled over and searched.
Oh wow.
Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. You let him in. Leonard is at the door. Come on, Leonard. Okay. Come on, Leonard. You can do it. I got no mic and no camera yet, but Leonard is in. You got to unmute the mic, turn the camera on, Leonard. Let me see if I can do it from here. They're both red.
I wonder,
Okay, there's your camera.
Yes.
And hang on for, okay, you got your mic.
Hello.
hello?
Testing.
Hello, Lenny. How you doing?
Good. Hey, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
All right.
Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh, awesome. It worked.
Cool.
Think we're good to go.
Nothing, a little
For some
reboot.
reason, once I went off.
Hey, Dennis, did you bring enough for everybody?
Enough what? Depends on what you want.
Can't hear you.
Did you bring enough for everybody?
No, I still can't hear you.
Well, stop crunching so loud.
No, I didn't bring enough of that for everybody. No way.
Mm.
Here comes Mike
Here comes
Leinke.
Mike.
Mike is at the door. And boom. That should get you in. There you go, Mike. Good evening, Mike.
Hello, Michael.
testing.
hey, Mike.
I can't hear him.
I can't hear him either.
Can't hear.
I'm just messing with you.
He's probably just moving his mouth.
I can hear him. Let me turn him up. There we go.
I was just messing with you. I was just moving my mouth.
Oh my. You mean I have to leave again now so I can get Mike?
No, I was watching. I was just finishing up, packing up the truck and stuff. So I've just been watching.
I don't know, Rusty. Since I've been gone from this thing, nothing seems to work anymore. Can't get the audio working.
So you going to a contest tomorrow, Mike?
It's not a contest. It's a cancer benefit. It's called Flyaway Cancer, and it's the coffee airfoilers. It's the RC club that Sam and I just joined recently. They do have 2 grass circles out there that they keep mowed, and there's a couple of guys that fly control line there. It's an hour away from the house. It's the best option we have for flying with other guys right now anyway. So we've been going out there the last couple weekends, and then I've been going out on Wednesdays and flying with one of the retired guys. So they're doing they fly a lot of big giant scale RC stuff out there, but they do fly control line. So they're doing a cancer benefit. They've got all kinds of, it's a $25 landing fee, donation, raise money for cancer. And then they've got all kinds of prizes lined up. They've got kits, they've got airplanes, they've got engines. They're giving away 2 different rides in aerobatic airplanes in the raffle. So I'm not sure how much the raffle tickets are, but we'll probably buy $50 worth of raffle tickets and maybe win some swag. But we've got the whole truck is loaded. Man, I feel like we're going to Brodax or something, or the Nats. We're bringing some flipping airplanes with us tomorrow. I've got 4 speed limits in there, so Sam and I can fly some combat demos, a couple of old slows, and then we got all kinds of stunt stuff that we need to maiden. There's 2 Noblers in there. One top flight ARF, the other one's a green box Nobler. Guy gave Sam, never flown it. We got a rugged stunt trainer in there, a P-40 Warhawk, a Super Clown, a Vector 40, and my SP-22. So I lost track of that, but I think there's like 15 airplanes in the truck.
That ought to keep you busy.
Yeah. A lot of them are going to be made because we haven't flown them. There's like 4 airplanes in there we have not test flown yet, so we just need to get a flight on them and see if the engines run okay and if the tanks are set right and stuff. But we'll probably just be flying combat most of the day, and then I'm hoping to get my SV-22 dialed in and get some decent flights on it now that I put a bigger tank in it. So that's going to be our day. We'll be up there all day. We're going to get there about 7 in the morning, and we'll probably stay till dark. So.
Sounds like a big fun day.
Yeah. Oh, I got my half-A stunner for Brodax too. I tweaked on that one. I only flew that one time, and the speeds were good, and the airplane flew good, but the outboard tip was pretty high, so I wasn't sure if it was tip weight or a wing warp. So I threw a bunch of tip weight on it. I'm going to fly it again tomorrow and see if I can actually get it over inverted and do some maneuvers with it. If it's still tip high after the weight, I'll know that there's a warp somewhere. I can't see one. It looks pretty straight, but I want to be able to be competitive with these other guys building all these badass hunters for Brodacks. So I finished the airplane.
Yeah. I finally got over to Facebook to watch Al fly his half a stunt pattern today, and it looked pretty good. He
flew it today.
He put it on Facebook the other day. And let's see who we got here. Oh,
I can't.
what is that background?
The audio.
I think Steve's audio is messed up.
Steve, you got a TV or radio or something on back there? Steven?
No, not on a laptop. Well, yeah. That's on.
Can't hear Steve either.
Can't hear me. Hello?
Me neither.
Oh, okay.
We got serious audio problems tonight.
Yeah, because I can't hear Steve or Mike, but I could probably get them if I wanted to go off and come on again.
Yeah, something's screwing everything up.
Well, I was trying when Steve came in. I could hear everything fine, and now I've got a lot of background.
Yeah.
Radio going or TV.
Yeah, it's like we're getting crosstalk, man. Hey, Steven, can you log out and log back in?
Sure. Okay.
And that cleared it up.
Rusty, did you know you're off air?
I'm live. It says live.
I'm showing off air here on my feed.
Yeah, I don't know. Things tonight.
Let me go over to the YouTube page and see what it says. I'm gonna mute my mic so we don't get my speakers so we don't get feedback.
When I'm on my phone, Rusty, I get a little box in the top right corner that says live, and another one that says off air if you cut the live feed. And right now it's showing off air.
Mine says live.
Does it?
Yeah.
We lost Bob Hunt.
Yeah, no, Bob disappeared. Yeah, I think here comes Bob again. Yeah, something with Steven though, he come back on now. I got that same thing again. Who just dropped out? Oh, one just dropped out.
Okay, I had to mute my speakers for a minute, but I got 18 people watching, and they seem to be
something going on with Steven
interacting.
All right.
Here comes Lynn Burrell again.
And unfortunately,
Yeah, there's something going on with Steven's laptop, and you don't have him in yet, Rusty.
What'd you say, Steve?
Steven from Vegas.
Yeah, hang on just a second. I had to go over to YouTube for a second. So he's coming in now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something in the back feed or something through your.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's screwed up.
I have the bandwidth on low.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bandwidth problem. It's just we got screwy audio tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Last time I used this laptop, we got an echo up until I lowered the bandwidth, so I kept the bandwidth at low.
Yeah, it did clear up some.
Well, it's when you talk, Rusty. When Steve talks, I can hear him loud and clear. It's when you're talking.
Really?
Are
Really?
you chatting with me right now?
Hey, Mike, I hear you.
I hear chatter all the time.
yeah, Rusty, somehow, I agree with Mike. It seems like when you're talking, I'm getting feedback.
I'm
think
getting it
what-
with you, Dennis. I'm getting it with you, Dennis.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
some,
Tell you
tempted
what,
to
I'm gonna
just
say
call
I'll
it a night.
rejoin and see if that helps any. See you in a minute.
Okay. I'm tempted to just call it a night because we're not getting good conversations going because
Yeah, something
there's
goofy.
too much going on. Sounds all clear right now. No, it doesn't.
No.
Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from.
Hmm.
it's coming from Steven's laptop
It
somehow.
is. I think it is too. I think it's.
Coming from my laptop.
I think so, Steve.
Yeah, when you left, it went away, and when you came back, it came back again for us.
Lower it down here.
So the problem's related to mine then?
No, we think it's Steve.
Oh, well.
Fine now again.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, it's pretty clear now.
It's
I
better.
still hear something, but it's not intrusive.
Yeah. Steven's blinking or something on my screen.
Yeah, something's feeding it in there.
There he's back again.
Well, this has been a,
I went too much, the picture went away. If I lower it too much, and I go away, I come back. That's as low as I can bring the bandwidth.
Yeah.
it's been a rough show tonight.
Yeah.
Well, now that Steve's gone. Russ, say something again.
Seems better now.
It seems
Yeah.
perfect. Rusty?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
I got clear audio all the way.
Yeah.
We're good.
Steven's laptop.
Top.
Okay. Well,
Just to finish up, if any of y'all are on the Facebook control line page, I'll probably be shooting a bunch of live video tomorrow from the fly-in. So
All right.
if you get a chance
Awesome.
to tune in. And I don't know if you guys, I think Rusty might have mentioned it last week, but Sam did his first outside squares and clovers last weekend. He did a whole bunch of them in a row. So he's got the only thing he has left to learn basically is the hourglass, and he has the full pattern down.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be flying the whole pattern in order, and trying to get through the whole thing without him crashing. Because what we've been doing is like 2 maneuvers at a time. I just have him go out and do 2 maneuvers and fly 2 maneuvers over and over and over for the whole flight. But we just got the hourglass, so the kid should be whooping up on guys in intermediate this summer.
yeah. I can't wait to see him put it all together.
One thing about it is, Mike, is that you got to be careful with C for the reason is you got a full tank, so it flies so much different.
I know, but I don't think that's a huge factor for him right now. I think it's more important that he's doing the maneuvers over repetitively and not crashing.
Yeah, but that hourglass with that big corner is hard to turn with a full tank. The way you got it trimmed out and stuff. So we found that out with Samantha. She could do
when you're flying electric, you're flying with a same weight battery all the way through, and it doesn't give an effect.
Yeah, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's with the battery, and the trim doesn't change.
That's true. It doesn't change, but it does turn that corner.
Right. But you got to turn that corner. You don't got an extra 8 ounces in the nose.
Boy, the sound again.
I think let's call it a night. This is not letting us have good conversations. And maybe Monday night it'll hook up a little bit better. We just can't
Did this just
talk about chatter.
Did this start? This whole thing seemed to have started when I. Is that true?
No, not you're not doing it.
No, it's not.
So I can sign off.
No, it's Steve. It's definitely Steve Speed that's
It's Steven's
doing it.
laptop that's doing it.
Listen, I only wanted to tell
Sign
everybody
off for a
else
few
out.
minutes, Steve. Let's see if it clears up.
Okay.
Well, no, hold up. I only was telling everyone else here for the Palmer event for the contest. So if I'm creating a problem here, then I'll worry when I get back home and use my regular computer. So
Okay.
I'll see you. All right. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
Now it's fine.
Yeah. Something
Yeah.
on his end.
Sometimes it does that when other people, like Sparky, sometimes brings chatter in with him, but it's never quite as intrusive as what we were just getting there. Here comes Dennis. Let Dennis back in.
Yeah. Well, was Steve in a hotel somewhere?
Yeah.
He's on hotel Wi-Fi. That's probably got something to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of bugged.
Yeah.
Is it, are there limits to how many people can be in this at a time or something?
Yeah, we can have 10 people, including me. And we've been, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 just a minute ago. So we've been having 8 or 9 in here most of the night.
Hey, Dennis, we can't go over 500 years total of everybody's age.
Too late.
Why is everybody looking at
Well,
me?
let's start adding them up.
That's it. Oh, well.
Well, it's clear now. So
It was Steven.
well, y'all carry on then. We can have a conversation now.
Bob, on that new timer, will it throttle up and throttle down?
Yeah, it'll do everything Igor's and Fioretti's will do, plus a whole lot more, according to Dean.
Oh, okay.
But it's not working on the same principles that either one of those is working on.
All right. So did you get Igor's timer yet from him or not?
Yeah, I got his timer and I got the prog box and I got the props, and we're going to put it in my airplane. Tom Luciano is going to come up, since he's flying the same airplane with the same system. He's going to come up and walk me through it because I've never put one in. So I'm just waiting for him to come up. Frankie Imbriaco just put one in his airplane too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it's an amazing system. I'm like Dennis. Dennis and I had a discussion about this. That I thought that the human timers and all the regular timers were just fine. I didn't think it was that much of a difference until I flew one, and then it was, oh boy, what a difference.
That's it. Well, frankly, Bob's the only reason I'd have any hope for it at all. I can't think of anything an active timer do to improve my power system. And I think Bob and I both had that opinion, except Bob said he did notice something, things that he liked about it. So I guess maybe I need to back off a little bit.
I can't hear anybody now.
You can't hear anybody? Can you hear me?
Dennis, are you there?
Yeah.
I'm there.
I can't hear Dennis.
That is so weird. Oh, this is.
I'm going to check out. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to get up and do some more painting tomorrow in my kitchen anyway, so.
Yeah.
Guys,
be good. Been good to see you again.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Bob. Sorry we didn't provide a better show tonight, but check back with us next week.
Next week.
Yep. Well, Dennis, when we get to are you going to be at Brodak, you think, or not?
I'm planning on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, somebody's got to keep Lenny in check here. I mean, come on.
I'm going to bring 2 identical Vector 40s, and one's going to be just with a timer that we use all the time, and I'm going to put Fioretti in the other one, and we'll see. I'll let you fly both of them and see if you think there's a difference or.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
But I figured you got to put them in the same airplane to know, kind of how you say, oh yeah, this one flies better. It's in a different airplane than another one. So if we can get them trimmed and everything, about to fly the same, and then play with them, we'll be able to find out if it does
Okay,
do.
sounds good. That all sounds good. So,
But all I know is the big thing is everybody sets them up different.
mhm.
You know, so Samantha got hers where she finally could fly, but she didn't like it coming on really hard. And I think we limited it to 200 RPMs is all it could gain. And I forget how much we limited 400 on the descent. And it has something to do with sensitivity and stuff like that. So there wasn't a whole lot.
Mhm.
Take it completely out, but you could hear hers working a little bit. Other people, you could really hear the thing on and off, but we had hers like that. She didn't like it.
Mhm.
So I guess it's your style of flying and stuff like that.
Well, that's it. It depends what you're looking for and all. I think I'm working on a theory, I guess, that may have something to do with the kind of prop you're using. If you're using a low pitch, high RPM setup, it may be more sensitive. It may be more desirable to have the active timer than if you have a higher pitch, lower RPM setup. And my rather crude logic on that is that I've been flying higher pitch props and running around 9,400 RPM and stuff like that. And I know the guys running Igor's props and stuff, they're running 11,000 RPM or nearly 11,000, and maybe they need more. Maybe they need more to keep going.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the props don't maintain the speed. The low pitch props maybe don't maintain the airspeed as well, and so they need that kick. Or maybe that's why it responds better. And why when I say I don't think I need it, like say the way mine is responding right now, the change in throttle setting would be a negative because I just I find my airplane governing back in any kind of breeze, whatever. The wind carries the airplane, and you don't need as much power and stuff like that. And all I can think of is that I'm flying in a different RPM regime than the guys who are big proponents of the active timer. That's just a wild ass observation. That's a scientific term, right?
Well, I know that Doran, he was having problems trying to get his adjust. Now he flies a 6-pitch and 7-pitch.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't fly the 5s.
Okay.
So that might be right. Why he's having the problem is because he flies high pitch props.
Well, that's it. If I'm right, then is he having trouble with the active timer, or is he happy with it?
He can't get it to slow down enough on the downhill or something. It wants to run. I don't know how that works, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What's going on? He was going to try to get on tonight, but he's got a test for college, an online test he's got to do. He didn't know if he's going to get on or not. But yeah, so you could ask him more on that. So yeah, I really don't know. It's something that you can play with too.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel any pain right now, right? Pain is what makes you want to change, right? Or take some medicine. I don't feel any pain right now, so gonna keep watching and seeing, and seeing if I got something to gain or not. So.
Hey, Dennis, JP asked if you got his emails.
JP, yes, I got his emails. I've spent the entire week on the road. So I'm sorry, JP. I again didn't respond to your email. So feeling like an idiot on that, actually. But I spent the last 3 days in Detroit. I was we're working on my dad's house, getting it ready for sale, and I was stripping wallpaper the last 3 days. So got it done.
That's good.
Now you still got to paint it and everything like that.
What part of Detroit is this house in?
Taylor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My sister lives in Taylor down there, Fanborn and Telegraph.
Yeah, we're at let's see, E-Course Road and Wick Road.
Okay.
Or not, sorry, not Wick. Well, yeah, Wick. Yeah, that's right. E-Course Wick. I'm trying to remember the. Oh my God, I lived there until I was 18 years old, and I can't remember the main street.
Yeah, that's all Romulus. Almost.
Yeah, memory's second thing to go. I forget what the first was. Yeah. Anyhow,
I'm gonna get off here. We gotta get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We want to be.
Have a good time. Sounds like a big day tomorrow.
yeah, you guys are gonna have a blast. You
We
take
will.
care.
Good weather predicted. No rain. Winds 8 to 10 somewhere in there. So hopefully.
Yeah.
Take
Boy,
it easy, Mike.
Blowing the
Good
bark
luck.
off the trees in
Thanks,
Columbia.
Danny. I'll be posting Sam's crash videos tomorrow. So.
All right.
Let's hope there's not too many.
We got lots of airplanes, Lynn. We got lots of planes, and we'll build more if we have to.
Awesome.
Well,
Hey, Dennis.
Yeah.
I was thinking too about we were talking about tractor props and pushers, and they're saying that the pusher prop, I don't know, makes the airplane fly different or whatever. But when you go inverted, wouldn't that go back the other way?
I don't know. Are you asking, do I ever go back?
No. Well, what I'm saying is that it has something to do with the engine being higher or whatever, and you were saying that it tends to do something with the airplane, and I can't remember what.
Okay, hold your fuselage up a minute. Use that as visual aid. Okay, thrust line is what? Looks like about an inch above the wing center. That much?
Yes.
All right. Now, so your thrust is pulling 1 inch over the wing. The wing is where the lift and the drag is. So what's the natural response? The thrust is up high. It's going to want to pull it down, basically, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And you also have the engine torque when you're running a tractor style prop, flying counterclockwise direction, P effect or whatever, makes the nose want to actually pitch up. All right, just the prop by itself, turning around in a circle or flying in a circle, the prop wants to pitch up, but because the thrust line is above the wing, it wants to pitch down. And the happy theory is that those two balance out, and the airplane flies nice and groovy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you put a reverse pitch prop on, what happens is that the airplane wants the P factor on the prop works the opposite direction, and the airplane wants to turn down. Plus, with the thrust line being up high, it's like a double whammy there. Okay.
All right.
So the obvious answer is to try to build it, flip it upside down. You're going to run a pusher prop. Try to have it with the thrust line below the wing center.
Right, but now it is, right? So I'm inverted, and now I'm below the wing center.
Mm-hmm. But you're also flying the opposite direction in a circle too. So your P factor is working the opposite direction. So it's still working in the same. So now I don't know.
That's what I'm saying is that if it ain't on dead center, one time it's above and one time it's below.
Yeah. And then the P factor is working in opposite direction. So I don't know. I have been making in general, and frankly, because it's with a glow engine mounted inverted, you got the vertical CG issues unless you put the wing down low and stuff. With my electric stuff, I'm getting closer and closer to an inline setup between the thrust line and the wing. I think My pink airplane is like a 1/4 inch off center, and some of the others are left, right there, and right on center and stuff. So it's just that's where it's at. Dennis joined us.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, I was just telling Dennis about you trying to adjust that Igor timer, and he was talking about higher pitch to lower pitch props and the problems with that.
What we were talking about is that I'm not using an active timer and I don't miss it. And I know a lot of other people who are using active timers who absolutely swear by them and say they can't maintain, constant play speeds without it. And the only thing I can think of is that the people saying that are also running relatively low pitch, high RPM setups, and I'm running a higher pitch, lower RPM setup, and I'm just wondering if that has something that somehow plays into whether the active timer is more important, if you're running a low pitch setup than if you're running a high pitch setup. So, does that make any sense? What we're trying to say there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you make sense, but I don't know how true that is or how it influences things.
I think it factors into prop efficiencies and things like that. And then I think you mentioned you were running 6 or 7 pitch props. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're running the active timer?
Yes.
And are you happy with the way it responds?
It responds very well for me. I'm happy with it. The only thing I'm not happy with, I'm not really I don't really want to subscribe to the constant speed thing, right? I would really like to see some more slowing down below the 20-degree elevation on the downlines, and you get none of that. It's almost in like you probably have to crash before it even slows down.
The generally speaking, how much of a RPM boost do you get on when it throttles up, and how much of a deterioration do you set for on your downline? How big a bump you have each way?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what I have right now. It's like I have to pull out the plane and look at it. But it seems like it didn't matter how much sensitivity I add to it, and still it doesn't respond to the downline. I mean, I would like to see it slow down when I get to about 15, 20 degrees or so.
Have you tried to run a lower pitch prop?
Yes, I did.
That didn't make a difference either?
Kind of the same run. If you look most of the videos of the Igor system, people flying them and they do a wing over, you just see them over just going flat out and stays flat out all the way to the other side till just before you hit the ground or something like that. And it kind of slows down after you pull out, and I would like to see some slowing down before that.
Yeah,
that's one thing I can't get it to do. Well, I don't know how
really
to do
hope it would slow down about the time you cross the center of the circle. On the wing over, just fast, just as soon as it could. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would really like to see the slow down over there. I mean, it's like I don't mind. I kind of like it when it stays full, overhead and on the other side. But I don't like the very, very late response on the throttle over there.
Well, I think it's kind of interesting. We're talking about factors that we would have never considered or never even dreamed of trying to control with glow engines. We'd be worried about getting enough pull from the prop and then making everything else adjust from there. But we've just got options that we've never had before. So.
Yeah. Well, for sure, it's very consistent. What works on my side is that I have a relatively thin airfoil on my plane. It's only 15%, 15 on the root, 14 on the tip. and I run a relatively low RPM on it too, so it doesn't really charge at all. But because of the thin airfoil and thin wingtips and lightweight, the acceleration after a corner is just flat out explosive, and you don't even see the slow down motion point of it, because you just go hard on a corner and it goes to the next waypoint, no issues whatsoever. You hit it hard again, it goes to the next waypoint, no issues again. Just like you just I can hit hard enough to stall it or slow it down.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just you can see. I'm looking forward to seeing your airplane sometime. I don't suppose you're going to be at the Brodak meet.
No, I'm
Okay.
not gonna be. I wish I was at Brodex. I would love to be at Brodex, but it's
Yeah,
gonna.
Brodak is as much a social gathering as it is a competition, I think, and but it's fun to do. So
Well, that's kind of Brodak. You see a lot of new things people try and stuff like that more than at the. It's all about competing, and you will see same things, but not
Now trying
things.
Triple Tree's not too far. Can you come up to the Joe Nall maybe for Thursdays when they have the stunt clinic, and then Friday and Saturday they have stunt contest.
Yes, I would like to do that.
I'd love to meet you in person and see your revolutions too.
Mm-hmm.
If you can make it up, that'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
Sure, I can definitely
get a good audience for that thing. Well,
In fact, I got to get online.
Bucket list events right now, so I'm hoping to get down there sometime. Heck, I haven't been able to fly yet, and I'm supposed to be doing a flying demo with Wesley. I'm supposed to be doing a flying demo next week, and I haven't been able to fly yet this year, so I'm gonna have to get practicing, I guess. So
Here's
I
another.
got to get online and pre-register for Joe Nall too. I had forgotten to do that, and it's getting close. So
yeah,
you don't have to pre-register, but it makes it easier.
I was asking another question with you guys, carbon fiber fuselages and all this kind of stuff. Can you mold over a plug instead of a mold, I guess, or
Yes.
the male instead of the female?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is there a difference why they do it one way and not the other?
Surface finish.
Yeah, you can put your lines, and rivets, and panels and stuff in it, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's the surface that it's pulled tight to that's giving you the really nice finish.
Yes.
Well, it comes out in a mold basically with a glassy surface. All right, smooth, hard finish. And there are people actually who paint the mold, and then do and then before they do the layups and stuff, they literally can pull painted airplanes out of the mold. So yeah, that's where you'd like to be if you can do it.
I guess we could make a plaster mold. What it is that Dick's nephew bought a new printer, and we thought about printing up a fuselage.
Printing it?
Yes.
Out of what?
Plastic or whatever.
Yeah.
3D printing. Well, people are printing 3D. They're 3D printing complete airplanes and stuff like that. I've seen them do it. I'm not sure it's the best use. What the technology is really at its best at, because you have to print very, very thin skins and stuff like that. It ends up being kind of combination of weak and heavy, which is not where that's not a happy combination.
Well, what we were going to try is that print two halves. Print the one half and the reverse, and then use that. I guess we could make a mold out of it, but I was going to make do it the other way with the plug instead. But I forgot about the finish.
Well, you make usually make something that looks like a fuselage, out of maple or something like that. You carve a fuselage basically and make your molds off of that. Now you can do things like you can 3-axis mill the male part of the mold, or you can actually 3-axis mill the mold directly. You basically finish inside of it. You can get there from here. It's just a question of having a good solid modeler and a good solid model to start with, and a good milling machine, and oh yeah, time.
What I was thinking was, instead of carving it out of a piece of wood, just print it.
No, it's a waste of money on a printing. It's probably cheaper to buy a piece of MDF and machine it directly. And if you machine it anyways, you might as well just
Printer, but we don't have a 3-axis machining center or whatever. So what I'm going to try to use what we got.
I still think you're better off just taking just MDF and make a positive, and then make a mold off of it. Or option B would be, if you want to make a light fuselage. Obviously, you want to make a light fuselage, but I think a 1/16th sheet for balsa wood with fiberglass on both sides would be light enough to get a very nice light fuselage. And then you can use a buck positive mold to make the shells with a vacuum bagging technique, which is relatively easy. And if you make it with balsa wood and 1/16 shells, and say 1.2 ounces fiberglass on the outside, and say 3/4 ounce on the inside, you're gonna have a super light fuselage, which is stiff and holds its shape. And because it's balsa wood, it doesn't really care about the mold underneath it, because it's gonna kind of keep it nice and smooth and stuff like that. And if you look at the 1.2 ounce per square yard fiberglass, it's dense enough so it doesn't leave too much pores over there. So finishing after that with maybe some primer, sand it off, and go paint on it, it should be easy. So what I would do, I just make like a positive mold out of, you can make it out of anything, with foam if you want to, make formers, put the formers on the top of the MDF, cut the shape of the MDF exactly to size.
Yeah, we've done them before. We got a couple of them now that we've been doing that way.
Then use them.
I wanted to do something in carbon fiber and get away from the balsa altogether.
But well, the problem with that is that if you want to go away from the balsa, you probably use some kind of foam core. You're gonna have like carbon, a foam core, and carbon again. The problem with that is that the foam is relatively porous. When you start to put a finish on a carbon fiber covered foam, you end up putting a lot of material through the carbon fiber into the foam pores, and that's going to pile up quite a bit of weight.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why we use a negative mold with a nice finish on the outside, so that you already have the finish and it's light. But if you want to use, probably I would rather use balsa wood for that application in that case.
Maybe we'll just make up the plugs, and then make a mold off the plugs.
Yeah, make a plug and then just use a 1/16 balsa. I mean, you're still, instead of using 1/8 inch, you're using 1/16, and you have a nice layer of fiberglass that's already with epoxy.
I want to do it in carbon fiber. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it in carbon fiber.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you can make it with carbon fiber if you want to. You should just buy some carbon fiber then.
Yeah.
And but which kind you want to use?
I don't know. We'll figure it out, but I guess I got to get a mold first.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a plug and then make a mold out of the plug and then go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, if you make a mold, uh, your best bet is to do something that's relatively easy to mold, like an elliptical shape, some cigarish shape that goes from the nose to the tail. Stay away from flat surfaces.
Yep.
Stay away from fins, shit like that. Uh, keep a little bit of a flat surface, but only where you're gonna put your wing, and not even there. You don't really need it. Um, but yeah, just make that. And I think uh, what carbon fiber I would use for that, I don't know. I'll probably just go CW30. Um, CW30. It's 2 layers of carbon fiber that are laid at bias at 45 degrees. Uh, that means it's 30 grams per square meter, and you can use 2 of those, one on the outside, one on the inside. There are other ones, CW20. Uh, it's a little bit more porous. Would be wonderful to use that on the inside as the inside layer. So it's CW20 balsa with CW30 on the outside. I think there'll be a very good fuselage.
Is that what you use on yours?
I use mine has it's a hybrid layout. I have a portions of it. It's carbon foam carbon, and portions of it are also just carbon. Okay, so on the carbon foam carbon, I'm using CW60 with foam and 1.7 glass on the inside. And areas where I have all carbon, it's 200 grams carbon with CW40 on the outside. And the way we lay it out is we lay out the first we put the CW60 in a center, which has the grain nose to tail, but also has the other two layers. CW60 has 3 layers on it. It's at 0 degrees, and the other two are plus minus 45 degrees, right?
Okay.
So we lay the CW60 with a 0 degree on the outside. Then we are coming with CW40 from the parting line, and we overlap over this one a little bit. This is cosmetic stuff, right? And then on the over the CW40, let's come back. Okay, so we have 3 sections, right? So CW60 in the center, and we have C40 on the outsides coming and overlapping over this center. Then we put a foam with a fiberglass on top of it in the center section where the flattish area of the fuselage. And after that, we come with a 200 gram per square meter carbon fiber cloth. You just like plain fabric, right?
Yeah.
And well, we start at the parting line, coming down into the mold, and overlap a little bit over the foam. So
We've got a suggestion from YouTube that Tim Redelman posted, and y'all are out of my wheelhouse, so I don't really know what you're talking about. But Tim says, do it in fiberglass till you get it perfected. I think that was directed at Steve.
that's a good idea.
Is that a good idea?
Absolutely. You practice with fiberglass most of the time, and
Probably a lot cheaper.
once you have it done correctly and you have your technique perfectly, then you go to the carbon fiber.
Well, thank you, Tim.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yes. Um, so so basically, that's what we are doing right now. Now in the areas where we have the fillets and the wing root area, we have a different layout over there. We have a foam plug that's cut exactly to the size of the shape over there. So we lay the material first, the carbon fiber, then we shove this plug inside and we press it down, and then we lay the center section which kind of overlaps on it. So it's like a carbon fiber, foam, carbon fiber in all those filleted areas.
Okay.
But I would stay away from that because they're a pain in the butt to make. Yes, I mean, you need tools that will repeat and will just get a perfect job for you every time. So that's it all depends what kind of complexity of work you're looking for. We are uh, my in my project, I was shooting for interchangeable parts. Okay, so um, is even the Yashenko shark is not interchangeable 100% because they have a slight variation of fuselage, slight variation in the wings. You have to fit the wings to the fuselage every single time you make a part. I have none of that in my plane. All my parts are interchangeable.
Yeah.
So the precision is different. Everything is a bit different. But I know that if I need to make a new part, I can just make it, and when I'm done with it, I just plug it in and lock it in. I'm good to go.
Okay.
Oh, there. Well, I'm gonna hit the hay, guys.
Yeah. It's after midnight.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking in there with us. We had some
Good
rough time tonight, but I think we kind of smoothed out now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to bail out on you too. I got to go back to Detroit tomorrow, so I'm going to be on the road early. So, you guys, sorry it's late. You guys have a good time, and hope to see you next week. All right.
all right, man.
Take
Everybody,
it easy, guys.
Good night.
thanks for hanging with us. Have a great weekend.
Yep. We'll see you later. Everybody Monday. Maybe we'll see you some more on your schoolwork is coming to an end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, really? The semester's already almost over?
Yeah,
Good.
Samantha's got next week and that's it. And she's done. So all of her
Yeah.
finals and all this shit's going on this week and next week and then it's done. So
I
she's
Okay.
have, yeah, I have one more class on Wednesday night, and I have one more
She recover
final
from the wisdom teeth?
to do, and that's it.
no, not they're still bothering her. She ended up getting dry sockets
Right.
and they had to pack them and whatever they did. And that was Monday.
Oh, man.
And she said the one that they had to go in, it cost so much money to cut out and everything that was impacted or whatever way. It never gave her a bit of problem, didn't hurt nothing. It was the two bottom ones that were through that they just pulled. That all of her teeth still hurt and everything. So
Oh.
it must have did something to the nerve. I told her the nerve will finally calm down and
Oh, yeah. What a pain.
she can't chew on everything. She's like, I can't chew. It hurts. She goes, whatever side I chew on, it hurts the whole side of all my teeth. She goes, not right where I'm chewing, but so I told her, I said, that's just inflamed nerves or something that's going on.
Yeah.
But where the holes are, she said that part doesn't hurt. So
No problem at all.
anymore.
Wow.
So dry socket did, but that got her hurting down her jaws and they're healed. I guess
That'll take a while for it to all settle down, I'm sure.
Pain
Yeah.
builds character.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're still alive.
I know every day. So, all right, guys. Good seeing everybody, and I'll see
Take
you
it easy.
Monday.
Take it easy, Steve.
Y'all have a great weekend.
I'm going to head out too, Rusty. Thanks again.
Okay, Lynn, glad we
All right.
finally got you set up. And
Yeah,
sorry your first show was such a glitchy one, but
that's all right.
we'll smooth it out.
We'll smooth it out. We'll try again. All right.
Okay.
See you soon, guys.
All
Bye
right.
now.
All right. Good night.
Well, Tryon, it's good to see you. You sound like you're pretty sublime right now, like you've been working real hard. I know school's taking a lot of mental energy, so I'm proud of you for going and doing all that, though. You're learning a lot, I bet.
Yes, I have. I do actually. I learn a lot.
What's your favorite? How many subjects are you taking this semester?
Took 5.
I know you're taking physics. Are you taking a separate thermodynamics and things like that, or is that part
No,
of
that's part of
physics?
it.
Part of physics.
Yeah. Actually, we went through the whole thermodynamics in
Wow.
2 weeks or so. It's
That's
just
that's
brutal.
one that separates the men from the boys, from what I'm told.
It's brutal. I mean, just like I was looking at the volume that the stuff that I had to study, and it was 100 and plus pages on one of the chapters, and another 100 plus on the other chapter, and we had 2 weeks to go through. And
Thermo is also something that you have to begin understanding quantum physics too, isn't it? I mean, isn't that
no,
it's
not
not
yet, not yet,
not really.
no. But no, yeah. What did I had? I had engineering graphics this semester. I had physics. I had introduction to mechanical engineering. I had MATLAB, which is computer programming for mathematics. It's like a calculator on steroids. And it's one more. I'm missing one. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you already been to college and started some of this, and now you're going back to
Yes.
finish, or is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Where are you going to school? Are you doing online, or are you going to a university in Atlanta?
Some in class and some on online.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I took the physics online, which is kind of a.
Yeah.
I think I think I bite on more than I can chew on one, but I'm getting by. I'm doing okay. I'm doing
But
well.
when you do online classes, you still have to go to labs and stuff at a university somewhere, don't you?
No, but you do have to do some what's called the proctored exams, where you go to a special place where they,
Yeah.
and you take those big exams like a midterm and that. But for labs, you still do the labs, but you do them at home, based on information that they give you, and you try to do whatever they tell you to do over there. So that's how you do that.
Is any of this with Georgia Tech?
I go through Kennesaw State University, which is the second biggest engineering school in Georgia.
Yeah, I have heard of that. So
yeah, so that's where I'm at right now.
All of my friends when I was going to college were Georgia Tech guys, but I went to DeVry, which was in the same neighborhood as Georgia Tech. We lived in the same private dorm, so a lot of my best college buddies were Tech guys.
Cool. Yeah. Georgia Tech, it's a good school from what I know. I don't think there's any difference with the school I'm going to right now. But other than the money you pay for classes.
Yeah.
So I'm I don't know. People do whatever they want to do, right? I just don't have the money and the time to. Besides, Kennesaw, it's a lot closer to my workplace. I'm within 15 minutes of driving to the college.
Yeah.
So the thing was that I could sneak out from work, go over there and do my classes in lunchtime, And I made an arrangement with my supervisor that we had some things going off with the way the system works, with punching in, punching out. So I'm just punching when I go out, and he automatically takes extra time because I was off. So yeah.
What sort of career track have you got in mind? Anything yet?
No, not really. I'd like to go in turbo mechanics would be nice, and like jet engine or something like that.
Yeah.
Work with GE, that would be nice. What else?
Gosh, there's so many different directions you can
Yes.
take.
Yeah. That's why somebody suggested that maybe I would go to get the MET, Mechanical Engineering Technology degree, which is a full degree right now. It's respectable,
Yeah.
It's, in the past wasn't respected so much, but right now kind of they have a different curriculum for them, and they're just completely different.
I have a huge amount of respect for engineers.
And hopefully I become one.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pulling for you.
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. So yeah, this semester went pretty good. Yeah, I'd say.
You going to go to school through the summer, or are you going to take a break?
No, I'm not gonna go to school through the summer. Couple of reasons. I'm tired. Number one.
I bet.
Number two.
You sound fatigued to me. I don't know if that's just, if I'm just imagining that, but I can tell you sound like you're kind of worn down.
Yeah, I am.
Not quite as excited as you used to be, but you'll get that back.
Yeah. Well, and I want to go to the Nets. If I go to the Nets, I cannot do this, So, and I said, you know what, I need a break anyway. So I said, I'm just going to take the break.
Have you been keeping up with SpaceX and their recent missions?
I did watch the videos on those. Very interesting. Very.
I love watching
cool
that.
Stuff.
The Crew Falcon, the Crew Dragon, both the mission to the station and splashdown. Those were things of beauty. I just loved watching that, and I hate that they had the anomaly, as they call it, the other day. But one of my sources of information on YouTube, his name is Scott Manley, and he does a lot of good updates on that sort of stuff. And they're thinking they're not releasing much information, but from what we can gather, it was not one of the Super Dracos that actually exploded the other day. It's possibly one of those overwrapped carbon fiber pressure tanks that they're using might have been the cause of the problem. Probably they pumped the helium up, probably higher than anything else, and that might have been what we saw cause the ruptures that let all the gas out. Because you could see a shadow, a white. There was a video from a distance that some unknown person with a cell phone took that showed a white plume engulf the whole thing. But we originally thought that was the explosion, but realized that white plume cast a shadow before the explosion took place and ignited all of that gas. So it was before they had actually mixed the hypergolic propellants to start the Super Draco. So they have not grounded the Super Dracos. So that's good because SLS is using that as well. And so maybe Blue Horizon, I'm not sure. But they're all going to liquid fueled escape pods now because they can't dock at the space station safely with solid fuel boosters on board. It's too dangerous because it heat cycles. so much when the space station is rotating in front of the sun. They're worried about, but the hypergolic fuels, although they're nasty and dangerous, can withstand the heat cycle and with no problem.
Mm-hmm. I'm not familiar with their with this incident that you're talking about. Though.
They were doing escape tests the other day on a test stand to make sure that the Super Draco engines are the ones that are mounted around the base of the crew capsule. And this was the crew capsule that they had retrieved from the ocean after the station mission. And they were testing the escape system. And I gather they were probably turning things up higher and running them harder than they usually do. But they ran tests all day, doing test fires of the Super Dracos, and they were doing one last test. And before they fired the engines, the separation engines that would carry the capsule away from a problem booster, the whole thing just went boom, and it destroyed the crew capsule. Now they are the plan for the crew capsules is to never reuse one for human travel after recovery. They'll always use new ones for humans, but they would do cargo missions and that sort of thing with the reused crew dragons. But that's what they were testing, and that was the week after the recovery of the crew capsule from the station mission, which the station mission went unbelievably well. And if you watch that, they docked with the station, unloaded, the dummy cargo, and then it turned around and came back home and splashed down in the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if maybe some salt water could have corroded something that caused those tanks to let go, and the engines that contain the fuel for the Super Draco engines. So it's all guesswork now. SpaceX has not said any of this. I'm just going on what some observers are gathering. So we'll find out what really happened eventually, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it doesn't delay the manned missions soon, because I was looking forward to watching a manned mission go, hopefully this summer, from a Falcon up to the station and take a new crew with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first crew is just going to be a 2-man crew. Probably a good decision, but that's probably going to push that back some. But NASA's SLS is using the same type of abort system with the same engines that SpaceX is using. So that's if it was one of the Super Draco engines, it would be implications for SLS as well, which is NASA's space launch system.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all cool. We're seeing some really cool stuff now, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I hope I can live long enough to see the U.S. get back into the astronaut carrying game and get us to the moon, where we can set up a way station for spacecraft that are going farther out into the solar system, because you know how much less delta V they need to get from the moon to the asteroid belt than they do from the Earth to the asteroid belt. It's just a huge difference. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of exciting stuff going on.
Yeah. That's totally cool.
Yeah. I'm a space nerd from way back. When I was in my pre-teens, I was watching the Mercury program with Gordon Cooper and Gus Grissom and all those guys, and
my goodness, those were the times.
Yeah, I've never missed a launch in all my life, except for a couple of the shuttle launches I've missed. And I did miss the Challenger launch, and I'm kind of glad I did.
Mm-hmm. I was watching some of them on live on TV when I was in the Air Force, and actually I was part of the special recovery crew when I was in Edwards. Air Force Base. They had a big caravan of trucks and everything else, and I was with a environmental engineering team waiting for the space shuttle to land.
Yeah, that was the main thing they had to do is environmental testing, make sure it was safe in the area around the shuttle because of the propellants
Yeah,
and everything that could possibly be leaking.
yeah. They use the hydrazine, which is very
Yes,
corrosive and it's very nasty stuff. So we were on standby in case things happen, and we had to go make sure that everything is clean and safe before they
yeah,
allow the astronauts to exit the space shuttle. So that was pretty much the job.
yeah.
And the fun part was just listening to the communications for the space shuttle as he was re-entering, and they would almost, I think, a full revolution before they were actually landing. The space shuttle was flying backwards,
Right.
and they fire the main engine to slow it down. Then they have to flip it back over
And
to
pitch up,
and pitch
belly
up.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it was fun to listen to it because they were coming over the coast of Australia doing like Mach 22,
Yeah.
and about 15 minutes later they're like, yeah, we just flew over Hawaii. Imagine Melbourne, Hawaii in 15 minutes. I mean, just freaking insane.
That's
Yeah,
burning up the highway, boy.
man, they're moving when they're coming in. And after that, another 10, 15 minutes, they were flying over Los Angeles, and maybe a couple of minutes after Los Angeles, the space shuttle would just fly over the base, and you hear like boom, boom, just a double sonic boom. And if you look,
The twin booms. Yeah.
yeah, if you look up, you could see the space shuttle, which is like small as like a, I mean, like a gnat, very, very tiny, right? But that thing just falls like a brick.
Yeah.
They say this is flies like a ton of bricks. What it does.
Yeah. Very little wing area. They only get one shot at it. They don't get to do a go around.
No, but but kind of funny trivia. The the fastest flying object is the space shuttle. It's a glider. So the funny thing is that in a real world, technically, it's a glider, and it's a glider that holds the speed record. But in
Slope
a
soaring.
slope soaring, yes, those guys are flying at over 500 kilometers per hour.
That's incredible.
That's nuts. It's like you just watch them when they get those planes up there, and they're flying 70, 80 miles per hour winds or something like that, some crazy speeds. So they
Yeah.
can build up the momentum and the speed.
They have to be structurally perfect or they'll crack up.
Hmm. Well, there's a lot of tricks over there. It's like, for example, yeah, in order to hold the flaps in position, so because the flaps wants to move a little bit,
Flutter. Yeah.
what they do, the servo, if this is the servo arm, when the flaps is in position, the servo arm points at the linkage, so they're like a straight line.
Yeah.
So that's what locks it in and relieves the pressure of the servos. Otherwise, if the servo be on some angle, the flaps will be so much pressure, and they will just pull the servo and strip it off and just go nuts.
Yeah.
So that's how they solve that issue over there. It's interesting to see how they do it. I mean, just I mean, it's just they're not even breaking a sweat going over 200-300 kilometers per hour. Easy. They're not even they're just warming up at that speed. Crazy. So yeah, I don't think even the jets. Yeah, there might be one jet RC plane that comes close to that speed, but I'm not sure if they beat it yet. It's possible. I don't know. But I think the fastest jet that I know of goes about 400 kilometers per hour, something like that.
Is that hot enough to heat the paint up?
Uh,
You think that's fast
possible,
enough to scorch the
possible,
paint?
possible, yeah. But if you, it's possible, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's maybe not, maybe not. Yeah, you develop some heat over there and some, yeah. But
It sure would
because
abrade it. Even
yeah,
if it
you have,
didn't heat it up, it still abrades it pretty well, I bet.
yeah. But best answer would say no, because the guys that fly the gliders they just use normal regular paint on their planes, and they're
Yeah,
not being scorched or deformed or any of that
yeah.
because of the heat. I mean, I would probably think they build more heat than that jet that was pretty clean. It was almost like uh, just a V wing,
Yeah.
a delta wing. I mean, yeah, a delta wing mostly like a lifting body.
Hmm.
So, but the glider is just clean, aerodynamically clean wings and stuff like that. So, um, it's kind of strange, that the jet can't beat a 100-inch wingspan glider or more, probably. I don't know, but yeah, that's also glider was my school of composites. That's where I come from.
Hmm.
I spent more than 10 years in making gliders, composite gliders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know my buddy Wayne Robinson first came across your build thread on RC groups and was highly impressed with the stuff you were making, and he tried to start emulating it in his own shop, and he's gotten real good at it. He's building planes for his now. He's doing a lot of kits for other people, but he's gotten really interested, and he's a soarer, a full scale soarer too. He likes to. He's got his own sailplane, and but he's fascinated with sailplanes.
Yeah, they're cool. I think there's a method to their madness when they say when you learn on a sailplane, because it teaches you how to be smooth, how to glide, how
Yeah,
to use the energy of the plane.
yeah.
Just how to land the precisely and just because gliders, as soon as you put the nose down a little bit on them, I mean, man, they start moving.
I remember when Wayne worked for the FAA, and one of his requirements was to get his pilot's license in a powered. His first check flights or his first student flights when they were doing final approach to the airport, he asked the instructor if he could shut the engine off because he wasn't comfortable landing with the engine running. And I think finally, not on the first try, but I think the instructor finally let him shut it off and land it like that. Just Wayne had to get used to landing under power.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, uh, it's, yeah, I think all pilots should have some kind of a glider experience because
Yeah,
that's, uh, I think there are quite a few accidents because they don't know how to use the energy of the plane and push it to the maximum or
yeah.
feel the plane or something like that.
He likes to go up along the east side of the Appalachian Range
Oh.
and ride up and down, all the way
Mm-hmm.
up and all the way down, up to past Virginia, and turn around and ride it back down,
Mm-hmm.
and spend a day with a buddy or two, soaring along the Appalachian Range.
Yeah. I've watched a few videos of those guys just going and just flying over the mountain range and just slope soaring, and then it's just moving. They're doing like 100 plus,
Yeah,
150 miles per hour, easy over there, and just they're booking.
yeah. There's some
And
good in cockpit videos of those guys doing it.
yes, yeah, absolutely. and there were some. I saw a full video of a race in New Zealand. It was a soaring race in which they put some GPS tracking systems on the planes, and they also have helicopters, chase helicopters that would just go around and chase them around, taking videos, and it was very, very nicely done. And it's, I mean, it was so interesting to watch them. You know, they had basically if you have a map, a three-dimensional map, and on that map you put a bunch of Coca-Cola cans, you know, at different positions on the map. And some Coca-Cola cans are tall, some are short, but you have to go through the can to be eligible to go to the next point.
Yeah.
And the speeds at which they were flying, and the things they were doing over there in ground effect, and I mean, it was just pretty exciting. I was like, wow, this is awesome. But you know, I have to appreciate a little bit that to understand it in the first place and to see how difficult it is, you know, because you have no more and nothing, you know, and just uh, I think they even got some bonus points. Whoever can hit the first waypoint first, right? They got some bonus points, and
Yeah.
they're pushing those gliders at over 300 kilometers per hour, which is just nuts. It's like they were doing 315, 300 and change or something like that. That's moving in a glider. I mean, a glider that flies faster than a powered plane.
Yeah.
It just, I was like, wow. It's interesting stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I did spend a lot of time in a glider community making the discus launch gliders, and I started with a vacuum bagging, where you basically put some kind of composite on top of foam. In a process, I built up a CNC hot wire cutter that I could program, and I could put whatever airfoil I wanted to have. Would cut taper wings, different stuff. Was very precise. It was, I think it was 99.96 or 97% accurate. And how do I know that? I cut a 1-inch block and then I measured it.
Hmm.
So I knew I was shooting for a 1 inch. I got 996 thousandths of an inch, which is only 4 thousandths of an inch, probably the thickness of a piece of hair.
Yeah.
Off the mark. So a pretty good machine. And obviously have the foam that cuts the way it cuts and has some kind of is never perfect, you know, because sometimes the foam it's a little bit harder, a little bit softer. It cuts a little bit different in one side than on the other side. So I mean, just precision is relative, right? But I think that kind of precision for a hot wire cutter was pretty darn good, anyways. And when I started to build the first glider wings, actually, I built my own planes. All of the planes I ever built, I built them myself. I never bought one from the yeah, I never bought one. So then I graduated, and things changed in a glider world, and everybody wanted to have this hollow molded, fully 3D airfoils and stuff like that. That um, with very high, very precise airfoils built into them. And the only way to do that is to cut the mold with a CNC machine, have a CAD CAM program.
Yeah.
And if you look at the wing, I mean, it means that the airfoil is morphing from the root to the tip. You go through at least minimum of 3 different airfoils, one on the root, one on the tip, or one and almost 3/4 into the wing. And if the root is it's 0 degrees incidence, the mid one it's about negative half a degree, and the tip is 1.2 negative. Have a little bit of washout. It's called washout.
Yeah. Right.
So when do a tight turn, it doesn't tip stall or something like that. It just falls out of the sky. So and you have to nail those numbers. Now, in addition to that, I want to have a two-piece take-apart wing, which can introduce me to how to make fillets in a fuselage, how to make the take-apart systems to work, and that's another school. And actually, the same take-apart that's used in Evolution 3.1 is also used in the horizontal of my Revolutions plane. The same machine spar that's hollowed out and it's super lightweight. That's kind of the same system that I have on a glider as well. And it doesn't weigh much at all. The take apart system in my horizontal and Revolutions weighs about no more than 5 grams for and it's and that's screws and the two pieces that I have two pieces that bolt together and they go backwards, right? A little bit, so they are assembled at a slight angle. They're not perfectly straight because the back of my plane, if you look at the horizontal, the hinge line is not a straight line. The hinge line has a dihedral, a 5-degree dihedral in this plane, and it also, so on top of the dihedral, it sweeps back as well. So, so basically, the reason was that I want to simplify the construction, believe it or not, So, and the problem was simplifying the construction. Where simplifying the construction around the fillet area for the stabilizer, because if you try to keep the stabilizer in line, with the hinge line in line, then you're going to have those fillets, because the fuselage kind of tapers in like that. Those fillets are very wide and very deep, close to 1 inch deep, which makes them almost impossible to machine, make, and also makes it really, really a pain in the ass to mold on top of that.
Yeah.
So in order to get away from that, I had to keep, if the fuselage was here, I had to keep my fillet not on it, but just offset a little bit, the minimum possible, which is about 3/8 of an inch on my plane. And that's what I end up using over there. So, yeah. So that's what I did over there. In a glider world, what I did, my first wings were made with hollow molded construction. And you just basically have the mold, you put the outer layer of composite material, you have a piece of foam in between, and then an inner layer of foam. And you put it in a vacuum bag. And after that, the next day, you get the two halves, right? Now you join the two halves.
Yeah.
Right. So you initially would do a vacuum bag of two halves, and then the next day you just put them together with the spar in between them.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's exactly what I'm using in my horizontal, my wing structure right now. So a lot of the stuff that I learned over there was borrowed and brought into here. And actually, one of my things that before I even started the Revolutions projects, I did a side-by-side comparison, knowing the surface area that I had on original wings, and I started to crunch in some numbers to see what should I expect for the Revolutions, right? If you use the same build construction or very similar, very close to, you should get a similar weights as well. And just to give you an idea, a wing on a discus launch glider, it's about 17 or 18 centimeters at the root, which is let's see, 17. which is about 6.5 inches wide.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So that's about what we have in our elevator, right? Front to back, and the wingspan of that, yeah, and the wingspan of a wing panel, it's about 13. It's about 30 inches long, and I said, you know, you can make a full horizontal in around 60 grams or so for the horizontal. But that means it's finished, ready to fly, with a hinge line built into it, right? And the take apart system built into it. It just basically is painted, ready to fly.
Yeah.
And you're talking about 60 grams for a whole horizontal. And that's pretty good. I don't know if you can do that with balsa. I don't think you can. I really doubt you can do that with balsa. And anyways,
No, I think it was you one time explaining to me the weight relationships between structural integrity and the amount of balsa as compared to the amount of composite it takes. And it's a huge difference in how much lighter the composite structure is.
yeah, I had the scrap piece of a wing, one of the first wings that I made for Revolutions, and it got stuck in a mold. I had to peel the wing off the mold eventually, and to save the mold and stuff like that. So I lost the part completely. But live and learn, and you learn a lot. Trust me. And I took that piece of the wing, which was about 6 inches by about 20 inches, no, 5 inches by 20 inches long. So I had 100 square inches of wing piece, right? It weighs 11.5 grams.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wing the wing panel on Revolution weighs 4.5 ounces. That is with spar, painted, hinge installed, flaps in it. That's wing and flaps. It's not just the wing.
Yeah.
And the only thing you have to add after that, basically add the control line wires and a tip weight.
Mm-hmm.
So when Mark McKinney has the number 2 plane of Revolutions that we built together when I was with him, and that one weighs 53 ounces, and this is a 710 square inches plane, and my plane, it's at 58 and flies super. It's solid, and his plane, it's at 52, and we still didn't use. I mean, if I could find a 6S 2200 milliamps battery pack, I'd be happy, because I'll probably just save another ounce plus over there,
Mm-hmm.
minimum. So we are really knocking at the door of a sub 50-ounce plane, if we really want to push it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's almost impossible. I don't think we can do it, but you can do low 50s for sure. Yeah, we can definitely stay in low 50s. So
That's a huge wing area for such a lightweight. So
yeah, and because it's such a thin airfoil, he loves to fly. He loves to corner. I mean, I cannot keep track of the plane. That's how fast it corners. so it's just explosive. I just like you just turn it and go like, what? So I still have to figure out, maybe we have some little bug in the system, but it's just the first plane we ever made with this technique in control line. So uh, you have to find out where the problems are. You have to
Yeah.
find out where the issues are, and uh, some of the issues we are working out right now are making make it. We want to make it even more bulletproof, more user friendly to to align and put the hardware inside the fuselage. And what we did in the past is we took the spars and put them in a wing and locked them in with the locking mechanism that we have, and then we feed them through the fuselage and put the other wing on and lock it in, right? So now basically the spars are floating and they can move inside the fuselage ever so slightly.
Hmm.
And then we use the wings and we fitted them to the fillet area. So the edge just kind of flows nicely all the way around and stuff like that. But that's that's at best a guess, even though the guess is within a couple of pieces of paper or so thickness,
Yeah.
if that, if most likely less than that. But I was thinking, what if I don't have to use the wings at all to do that? So what I did, I made some special fixtures that on which you can bolt and you can bolt all this hardware in, and you just put them through the fuselage, put the other fixture on the opposite side, and they fit over the fillet area, and they're absolutely perfect. So every plane that will be made after that point, there's like really truly interchangeable parts,
Yeah.
and you're talking precisions within 2-3 thousandths of an inch precision.
Absolutely. Interchangeable parts is almost a miracle in itself to be able to do that.
Yeah, so that's yeah, we have some luck. We did have some luck. We did have some bad luck. We did have some uh, learning surprises.
That's what
Uh,
engineers do.
yeah, we among the surprises that we had is that, uh, for example, when I made the first fuselage, I ended up scrapping the whole fuselage, and we tried to put a bunch of formers inside, and we found out that especially on the back side where it goes on the fillet area, it wanted to be stuck in there. It didn't want to come off because it's like the draft was it's so tight over there in that area. So we learned our lessons from that. So what we ended up doing is we drill a hole through the center of the elevator in that area. So after the fuselage is done, you just crack it open. You just hear the cracking, and you take some compressed air and you blow air through that little hole over there. So the compressed air goes through the hole into the fillet area, and it pushes it pops it off the mold very easily with that. And that was just a great find. Uh, Another thing that we went over is like we were not sure about how much material to put in uh, inside the fuselage itself. So we kind of guessed at the 200 grams per square meter, and I did use that, and it was okay, right? But then the next thing that we found out is that if you want to fill in the pores that are left behind that very coarse grain carbon fiber, it's a bit of pain in the butt, and it weighs a lot. And this is the reason for which my plane is 58 ounces. Actually, the only reason for which my plane is 58 ounces. Well, in addition to the fact that we have a slightly different layout.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, my whole fuselage was like 57 grams in a nose, and that's the shells with all the formers ready to go, basically, and the hardware built into it. Uh, uh, it's basically ready to receive a couple of rails for the battery and bolt the engine in, and you're good to go. That's it. Um, and so that's 57 grams in a nose, and the aft fuselage area was 218 grams or 215, no more than 220 anyways, long story
Mhm.
short. So you're looking at about something that's a little bit less than 10 ounces for a fuselage that's over 40 inches long. And and the aft area was so the original prototype aft area was about 220 grams, let's say that. The second one I make for my McKinney, the aft area was 186. So we saved a lot of tail weight from the backside, which which I think was just pretty darn good. So we have a lighter tail, and his plane is balancing just a little bit more on the nose side, which is good, which is very good, um, and yeah, we're getting better, making progress and stuff like that. And the next hurdle that I want to overcome is to do to be able to do the painting in a mold, because it's right now we're running through some growing pains, and the fact that very little information to no information on the subject anywhere. So we just, I think Mark is going to try to clear coat PVA and clear coat the mold and try to put some tape inside the mold and paint it inside and see if you can pull the tape out without pulling everything off.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the the, the things we're trying out now, stuff like that. Anyways, we found out that it's you're better off with a little bit heavier weave on a composite, the outer layer of the composite, to make sure it doesn't have pinholes and stuff like that. Uh, and start with that layer on the outside and put the coarse 200 gram on the inside. And because if you do that, you're gonna have a super nice outside that doesn't have pinholes. So even if you have to paint it after that, worst case scenario, right? You don't have, the paint is not gonna soak through the pinholes going inside the fuselage and giving you a bunch of that extra weight. So that's another thing that we that's why my plane is so heavy. I mean, I'm saying it's so heavy, but it's 58 ounces at 700 over 700 square inches, so it's still super light by any means. So but that's, you learn, live and learn, make mistakes, do again, make more mistakes, eventually get it. But that's nice. You have, when you have the molds, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You miss a part, you make another one, put something different inside of it, work the problems out, and eventually get a good part, which is light and all the good stuff. So you're tired, beat up. So, but you're enjoying the conversation, I guess. So,
It's all fascinating. So, yeah, thanks for the lecture. It was that's all very interesting. I am amazed at how much thought and work you're putting into this. But you say the information is not out there yet, but it's gonna be when you get through with it. You'll be the source of the information, the go-to source for the information on this process.
Yeah. Well, I'm also kind of surprised that I didn't see too many people just jumping on a bandwagon of, maybe introducing some composites in their own woodwork, for example. I saw Steve. Steve just put some composite in his wing a little bit, but it made a huge difference in his wing as a build, torsionally wise. I mean, it's very stiff torsional. I think he could have done slightly different things over there, make it even better, lighter and even better past that. But
I'm just now beginning to use things like carbon veil and finishing resin for stiffening, but nothing so sophisticated as what you're talking about. Not, not anywhere close to doing any molding or anything like that.
Carbon veil doesn't give you any stiffness. The only thing
You say
carbon veil, because of the grain that it has, it
just
doesn't provide any stiffness at
just
all.
got an amorphous grain. So you saying it for stiffness, I should be using something that's got a regular weave to it instead of a
Some direction. The
yeah.
only the only thing carbon veils does for you is it gives you a harder surface.
Hmm.
It helps with the handling of the plane. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you go on a plane like this and you hit it, something like that, with your
Yeah.
nails, something like that, your nails are not gonna bite and not gonna go inside the plane. That's the
Right.
only thing it does. But it has no strength.
Okay.
You can put
I was mistaken about that, but you're right. I understand. It's got a kind of a amorphous fiber layout so that it doesn't have a horizontal weave at all. So
yeah. But a very very cheap way to do some composite and stiffen up things in a plane is
I
to
use it on the flaps and the and stabilizer mostly so far.
Mhm. But it doesn't do anything. It's not helping anything over there other than the ding resistance.
Yeah,
That's
I
all it
want to keep
does.
that in mind.
Yeah, you're probably better off just using a 3/4 fiberglass.
I do actually have a couple of brand new packs of 3/4 fiberglass, and I was planning on using it on the nose of the plane. And this is a internal combustion, so I'll put that on with epoxy finishing resin on the nose, and that'll harden it up and keep it fuel proof. But
Yeah.
I could also dope it on for, but that wouldn't be as structurally sound either, would it? Doping it on as opposed to epoxy resin.
No, it's not true.
As not, do you think dope would contribute to its
Yeah,
strength? Okay,
just as much as epoxy.
okay, well, good, and a lot lighter.
All the epoxy does is holds the fibers together.
Yeah.
It gives it like a
Oh, well, that's
the
good to know.
fibers.
Dope would be a whole lot easier to use too.
uh That the fibers give you almost all the strength. The epoxy contributes some, but if you're looking at it, it's probably like 90-10. 90% comes from the fibers and maybe 10% from
Yeah.
the epoxy, if that. And I think I'm being conservative. And I said when I'm saying 10%, I'm being
Yeah.
generous. But
Okay.
yeah. The idea is the way what do you want to accomplish? That's the thing, right? Uh, for example, for our stuff for control line, if you want to make like a nice flaps,
Yeah.
you can probably just do a maybe make a hot wire rig and hot wire the foam, but not any foam, not the white foam. The white foam will collapse, right? So you want the Home Depot kind of foam, like the 40 pounds, like the blue or the red foam.
Yeah. I've got some foam that's I forget what's written on it now, but it's kind of a bluish teal color,
Yeah,
and that might
yeah,
be the stuff you're talking about. Yeah.
that's the dull foam and stuff like that. So what you want to do, you want to cut the flaps to the exact size, maybe a little bit smaller, and
Yeah.
use 1/32 balsa wood, and use that. And what you want to do is just probably just put the balsa wood on top of it and shape it up, make it nice
Yep.
and neat and stuff like that. And then you take the fiberglass and you vacuum back the fiberglass on top of that.
I can do that.
Yeah, and but when there's a technique to it. You don't want to put the fiberglass on and then impregnate it with epoxy, right? Because what it's gonna do is gonna get all the epoxy and it's gonna soak it into the balsa,
Hmm.
and the balsa will be happy to absorb it all.
Yeah. So I need to seal that balsa before applying the.
No, you don't need any of that. Just you need you just vacuum it real good. You don't want any.
Yeah.
If
So,
you have dust in there, it will delaminate in use, right? So you want to vacuum that balsa wood, make sure you have zero dust in there, right? And what you want to do, perhaps the easiest technique that I would use for flaps, something like that, is super inexpensive. Since you have the balsa, it's already nice and flat and stuff like that. You don't need a hard backing for your fiberglass, right?
hmm.
So you can just use a piece of wax paper, and you lay the wax paper on a floor, and you take your spray can about at least 2-3 feet above it, and you don't shoot on it. You shoot horizontal, right?
Oh, just let it dust it. Yeah.
And it's just gonna kind of make like a fog about above it, and you're just gonna fall down on it. Now you take this guy, you, you put your fiberglass nice and neat and straight on your table, right? And you take this guy and you put it right on top of it at 45 degrees. You want your grain balsa to go at plus minus 45 degrees,
Yeah. Okay.
right? That's what's going to give you stiffness. You don't give a rat's ass about the stiffness in the other direction, but the torsional
Yeah.
stiffness. That's what you're shooting for, right? And then so you have this wax paper on top, and with a X-Acto knife, you can just cut your slices, whatever you want to have, to fit your wing, right?
Yeah.
You can even put it on the side of the table, on the edge of the table. Say you have the edge of the table, and you have the material like this, right? And you
Hmm.
can just go like that and give it like a little angle. Oops.
I get the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, okay. It dropped on my mouse and everything was gone. So after that, um, you put the resin on the top of the fiberglass, right? Put some paper towels on top of it,
Hmm.
and blot them out. You don't have to do it too
Yes.
hard, but just blot them out. That's going to remove most of the resin off, right? And now you take this wax paper with a fiberglass and that's impregnated and put it on top of your flaps. Put in a vacuum bag overnight, and next day you just peel off the wax paper and have a nice shiny surface and stuff like that. But yeah, and I mean you're gonna have a stiff flaps that's lightweight. The problem is that a lot of people what they do, they start to put the fiberglass on the wood, right? And they start to put epoxy on it, and they go like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God, this is so heavy." Of course, because all the epoxy got soaked through the balsa wood all the way into the wood, and the wood is just soaking down
Yeah.
with epoxy. That's not how you do it light. This will never turn out light like that. So that's it's a matter of technique. Another thing that you can probably do on your plane very easily is like have a super stiff spar. That's this company in England is called Easy Composites. They have this 100 grams per square meter unidirectional carbon fiber, which all the fibers go in one direction and have some very little binder to it that kind of holds them in position, right? And it's very inexpensive. You buy a meter of that stuff. It's a 1 meter by 1 meter. It's like a 1 square yard of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And what you do with it, you just put a straight edge and you cut your strips of carbon fiber. And each strip of carbon fiber, whatever size you cut, if you think a piece of balsa that's 2 inches tall, that's the strength you get out of it, right? So, so if
Oh,
you yeah, so if you use, uh, and that's a normal use, right? Because actually the ultimate tensile strength of that piece of carbon fiber is double that. So actually, it's like if you think about the point of breakage, it's a piece of balsa that's 4 inches tall. So the amount of strength that you add for almost close to zero weight is just unbelievable. So that's the kind of strength that you get over there. So like let's say you want to make a light wing instead of using the uh, heck, you know what? Instead of using a spar, why not using a spar at all? You just get some of these strips of carbon fiber, which you put them, uh, you spray them with 3M77,
mm-hmm.
the same like from far away, right? And you
Yeah,
take them and you can handle them anywhere and just put them over there on a where your spar usually goes in a wing on a balsa wood sheeting. Now you put your balsa wood sheeting, all you have to worry about some shear webs. You're done. You don't need a spar. That piece of carbon just glued to the outer sheeting. That's all you need.
yeah,
And there you go. You have a light wing. If you make some of those geodesic construction, you can cut a strip of carbon fiber like about 1/16 of an inch wide, and after you finish your wing, again with 3M77, you just lay them right on top of your ribs,
yeah,
and and you just leave them like that with 3M77, and now when you put your shear webs, the cap strips and stuff like that, when you glue the cap strips with a thin CA, the thin CA was gonna wick, is gonna glue the carbon fiber on the rib, and is gonna glue the cap strip on the top of the carbon fiber. So kind of having a sandwich kind of construction over there. And man, I tell you, that wing is gonna be so strong. Is even if it's you try to twist it after that, forget it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculously strong. But I'm surprised nobody is asking about it or something like that. It's just, and it's simple, and it doesn't weigh much. I mean, you have 100 grams. It's 4 ounces per 1 square meter,
Yeah.
right? Cut that 1 square meter little strips, and how much weight do you add to your plane? It's it's close to nothing, and it's ridiculously strong. I mean, it adds a lot of strength to your plane. So that's. I think it's kind of late. Should go to sleep.
I'm still awake,
I'm
but
gonna go.
I think we'll call it a night though. But man, I enjoyed our conversation. Everybody else bailed out, but we got some good information for people to watch out there. We still got 11 folks watching us. So, hopefully, some of this information will travel and people can put it to use. I appreciate what you're doing and appreciate you coming on here and sharing it with us.
You're welcome. So, good night.
Good night and good luck. And we'll see you whenever you can peel yourself away from your studies and come back to visit us. And have a good weekend.
All right, you too. Good night.
All right. Good night, Trey. Signing off.